Tyranny. Hi, I'm Casey. We're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, and we're on 20 sides to every story. Do please remember to like, follow, and obey. If you're hearing this, you're probably on YouTube, because I launched into this pretty quick, so I don't know anybody's got the alert and had a chance to kick in yet. So, we are a... Hello. Thank you for the cheers. And... Oh, there we go. Cool. We do have the audience. So we've got an adventure party who is currently working on creating a rebellion within Castle Neritar, a castle that has been taken over by the dragon cult, populated with a small number of cultists, a large number of bullywogs, and a medium number of lizard folk. One of our party members, Chiquito the Warforged, is not available yet. They will be arriving shortly. And so everybody's in the wrong spot on the screen there. Try to follow along. You can see the lights blinking as we go. But, we'll get that sorted out when things come back. Up on the screen, we still have our starting in 5 minutes, which I'll clear out here. Up on the screen, we have our cast of characters. The top 5 are our party. The bottom 5 are people of note in and amongst the cultists. And because I goofed up last session, I gave the wrong name and association for 2 of them. So I'm going to give them a real quick recap here. Snapjaw the Lizard Folk is one of the lizard folk of the castle who is not openly rebelling, but is a bit grumpy about the cult being here, and is perhaps ripe for a conversation. Next over, Farblex is the Bullywog spiritual leader. He's got that froggy look to him, and he wears kind of a hat like a pontiff would, made of some fish, pike, gar. It's a little bit... rotting at this point, so hard to make out what it might have once been. Next over there, we have Born Grey, the elven leader of this castle, a reasonably high-ranked member of the cult, a wearer of purple, one who has taken on a position of authority. Next to Born Grey, we have Frola Mundath, another wearer of purple who the party encountered way back in Greenest. Mundath was the head of the group that was working with Cyanrath, invaded and captured the citizens of Greenest, and then oversaw the hatchery. While the party did kill Cyanrath, the Frola Mundath was able to get away. Resmir, the last one there, is a half-dragon and is known to be of the rank Worm-Speaker. Now, that is higher than the wearers in purple. It is Resmir who decided that the Bullywogs would have the position of power in the castle and gave those orders to Born Grey. Born Grey's not really a fan of working with the slimy, smelly Bullywogs and would rather work with the at least somewhat dignified, if a little bit distant lizard folk. So Born Grey, unable or unwilling to disobey Resmir, has tried to make the lizard folk look a little better, so that when Resmir comes by again, perhaps they will change their mind and decide that, no, okay, maybe the lizard folk are a better choice. In that angle, Born Grey has recruited the party members who are disguised as cultists and don't seem to have orders at the moment to try and raise up the lizard folk, bring a little life back into them, show themselves as true warriors and believers of the cult. Now, Resmir and Mundath are traveling together. They are expected to be returning here sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks. At that time, Born Grey is hoping that Resmir will look upon the lizard folk a little more kindly and replace the Bullywogs with them. That's kind of where we left off, and I gave the party a little bit more information. They've spent about 2 days masquerading as cultists in the castle. During those 2 days, they had to clean out a little room for themselves, kill some centipedes, chink up some leaky spots, make the bedding, somewhat livable, and sweep out the muck and the goo that the bullywogs had left behind. They've taken over a small cubby and have reasonable privacy to work amongst themselves. The cultists are used to working in small cells or small groups of people, so there's not really any questioning going on there. There's 2 to 3 other cells of cultists here, moving about, mostly seem to be in charge of just keeping the peace and maintaining the balance within the castle, assisting Born Grey. The blue cheeks on Yaz's illustrations always make you think Yaz is blushing. Yaz, do you blush blue?
Due to the fact that I am of the cold blood, I do not know how to blush. And I'm not of the chameleon variety, so I don't know how to change my color, or of the kobold variety who could change the color. But
Sounds good.
I always thought it would be really cool. But I'm working towards that goal to change color. One day,
One day,
soon, I
just
think.
keep willing yourself to change color.
Oh yes, and maybe if I speak to whomever I seem to be following, maybe they'll give me the gift of color change.
Well, if you molt enough times, maybe one of those layers of skin will change color.
Yeah. Like, what if one day I feel like, I want to be more blue? Or what if I'm like, no, I want to be more red? Or maybe I want to change my blush to a red instead of a blue. Sometimes I want to just change, you need a change of pace. Nothing yet, though.
These are all things that your patron can provide with the minimal investment of your soul and potential free will. Speaking of which, it's been a little while. You've been traveling for a bit. Have we had any advancements on understanding what your patron may be and want of you?
I did consider, of the 3 that you sent me, Wave.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one seemed to fit the best. It's been a while since I've thought about it, so I don't remember why that seemed to fit the best.
Okay.
But I do remember settling on that one.
Sounds good. So on that note, the patron of the Hexblades frequently associates with some of the sentient weapons. Of them, Whelm, Wave, and Black Razor are the 3 most prominent and kind of a matched trio. There's rumor and stirrings of them in the world these days, so they may be reaching out. And indeed, it seems as though the fish sickle hammer is
arc sickle.
Sure, hammer-headed fish sickle.
What did I call it?
Warhammer.
Warhammerhead.
Warhammerhead does seem to be, speaking to the wave's influence. Now, for the rest of the party, do we have anything that we would like to do or say was done over the last 2 days that are of low risk, probably not requiring a roll? Anything just in the 2 days, mostly cleaning up, settling in, dumping the mud out of your boots, that you would like to have done?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Sounds good. So, those 2 days passed. We're now saying that you're in the 3rd day. And on this day, you have managed to pull Snapjaw aside and have a more in-depth conversation. And Snapjaw's given you a little bit more information on the lizard folks' position within the cult, letting you know that, early on, they were on equal footing. The lizard folk, not really interested in the cult itself, but very respectful of the black dragon that you actually bumped into a little earlier, and its domain within the swamp. As the black dragon seems to be supporting the cult, the lizard folk were coming along with it. But then the lizard folk suffered a loss. Their shaman died, and left leaderless. No warlord, no shaman, no leaders of note. Um, you know from lizard folk that normally that would happen during a fight with another tribe, and then the one tribe would effectively adopt the other. There might be some additional killing happening, but they would just become a larger tribe. So that is the way of things. If the warlord or the shaman had survived, one could name another. So a warlord could create another shaman, a shaman could create another warlord. But with both gone, the tribe is leaderless. Born Grey has tried to take on some measure of the lizard folks' warlord status, giving them weapons, teaching them how to craft, but the connection's just not there. They operate on two very different levels. And so Snapjaw's people have declined, and you can see that at one point, perhaps they were going to move the entire village here. The longhouses that the lizard folk were building could house 100, 200, maybe even 300 lizard folk here, but there's only 30, maybe 40 in residence, the remainder having stayed behind at a village that Snapjaw references as being some distance away. Snapjaw has also mentioned that the Bullywogs have really driven the lizard folk out of the castle, turning the lower levels into their own mucky, nasty place. And unfortunately, that is where the treasure is destined, being carried to a portal of a magical nature. Snapjaw's not aware of what happens at that point, but when that was revealed to the party, I think the party probably said, "One moment," and stepped away to have a little powwow amongst themselves. And that's where I'd like to pick up. And I know our Chiquito is rushing home. I was hoping that he would arrive by this point, so I'll say plan slowly as
That's how we always plan.
as we get into this. But if there's questions,
circuitously.
yes.
Maybe start with the rat cult theory, and then we'll get into the more feasible options later.
Build up from the cult of Coca, or Coca.
Oh, yes.
I took my symbol away. I don't remember which way around we decided it was.
Cult the Coca.
There we go.
Colta. It works both ways.
It does.
So
This is a very slow start to our planning. So
That's by design.
I'm wanting to think about portals and things, but I'm like, no, try to pull back to Kolkakota. Just for
Yaz, do you know? I know that you did not grow up in a tribe like the lizard folk. Do you know much about them?
DM?
So I think you have had enough curiosity about your heritage that you have some knowledge.
Okay.
How about a history check about this tribe in particular, though?
Gotcha. That's a good place to start. History. There it is. Don't know much about history. I'm okay.
That's not bad at all. So the lizard folk of this area follow the black dragon. They are the lizard folk of this mirror. They are of the death scale tribe. And they do keep to what they consider to be the ways, and which is the leadership is determined by shaman, by warlord, exchangeable. They are born that way, so you cannot grow into being a shaman unless you are elevated by a warlord. You cannot grow into being a warlord unless you are elevated by a shaman or born that way. A shaman is always born, or a warlord is always born, if there is one missing. So there is some suspicious mysticism there, in that it's very convenient that they appear. Whether or not you believe that is at your discretion. So Snapjaw would have let you know that a shaman has been born, but being very young, it'll be a long time before they can assume any position of power or, elevate another to being a warlord.
Okay. I would relay this information to Show. Did you have some like starting of a plan, or like some like
That's-
what?
It is possible. I'm thinking perhaps, yes, you have a lot of power that the other lizard folk may not understand. Could you assume a temporary role as either warlord or shaman based on the power that you can exhibit to them? Because if you could assume such a mantle, you could take command of the tribe to some degree.
From what I understand of how these people operate, that would be a no. Because it is something you are born into, and you can't just assume it. They won't accept that.
So, as you're thinking that one through, could I get a quick insight
From
from
me?
whomever's given this one thought?
I'll try to.
I suppose I am thinking about it. Nope.
Sure. So Yaz and Anrid, you're like, yeah, that just won't work. But Show, I think, having brought up the idea, you're like, hang on, there might be a way this can work. Snapjaw mentioned that a new shaman has been born, but Snapjaw hadn't said anything about a warlord. And it sounds like they've been missing a warlord for a while. A warlord should have been born at some point. If their warlord's been missing for a while, it's possible you could claim to be the missing warlord, but boy, would that be a stretch.
But someone absconded with you to Waterdeep, where you grew up not knowing of your heritage. I've read stories like this.
Baldur's Gate, but I'm liking the idea. I
One
don't.
city or another, I don't know the difference. There are all too many people.
That's fine. It's a big place. Um. Thing is, I don't know if I look much like a warlord. I got the pew pews, and I do have some strengths thanks to my patron. Um, but it's not like, it's kind of like in a pinch, like where it's like, okay, we're in a fight. I need to get like I need to do this now. It's not like, okay, I'm going to say, hey patron, can you like give me a hand here and lift up this cart? I don't know, like I don't know. Maybe I could
Do
see it.
you do you think the warlord has to be strong or just capable?
I would imagine someone who's good at war is strong in some way.
I think you
But I
could
guess
I think you could defeat any of the other lizard folk here in combat.
it's worth a try. But so once, should this happen where I do end up becoming a warlord, we're going. Hi,
I was listening on my way home, and I got to the part where we're stalling and talking about Kolka to stall for me to get here, but then I missed a little bit.
Not a problem. So the quick review is, as we let it settle into the potential warlord lizard folk. The lizard folk, Snapjaw has revealed that their shaman has died just recently, but a new shaman has been born. It'll be years before they're ready to take a point of leadership. Their warlord is nowhere to be found. And died a long time ago, but no new warlord has been born. There is a chance. We're going to say the word chance. There is a chance that Yaz could pretend to be the long lost warlord now returned. Maybe. There's some information that you would need and some deception you would need to achieve to pull that sort of thing off.
Which I'm okay at.
And there is that possibility. It's not completely ruled out. As far as what would be required of you should you become warlord, you would be expected to lead the lizard folk in battle, make decisions about when to attack, when to withdraw to the swamps, that sort of thing. They are not always the biggest and the strongest, though the biggest and the strongest often end up in that position. Because they are identified young as the warlord, they are fed well, they fight constantly, they become big and strong because of the position. So there's that. You could accelerate the naming of a new shaman if you were recognized as a warlord, choosing an adult lizard folk to now become the shaman. Retirement from the position isn't really a known thing.
That is what I'm concerned about.
So
We could fake your death.
You could just leave.
these are valid options.
That is true. I guess I could just be like, see ya, suckers, and then leave, but
You're going to try to stop me? I'm the fucking warlord.
you, new warlord, I'm out of here.
Cannot name another warlord. You can name a shaman. You can't name your replacement though.
Got
The
you.
shaman can name the new warlord.
Shaman could name a new warlord.
Does it matter how old they are?
It does not if the shaman recognizes a new warlord. But until the shaman or warlord is of a particular age, they are children. They are not recognized as having attained their position, just being the one that will become that position.
That seems like a very, very dicey way to establish a heritable rulership. Look at where we are right now.
In the swamp?
In a swamp, with lizard folk with no leaders, except for a child. And Snapjaw. What about the Black Dragon?
The Black Dragon? What about the Black Dragon?
Well,
Is he kind of like a pseudo leader, or you said that they follow, but
they
like a god, isn't he?
Yes, more along the lines of we do what they say because they could eat all of us. So, not quite worshipping of a god level, but very respectful. This is their territory. We're just living here. Now, lizard folk don't make a lot of demands on the territory. In fact, they're very nice to have around. They eat stuff. They chill. That's pretty much what they do. Yaz is a little bit of an exception doing this whole crazy adventure thing. But most little lizard folk, very laid back. They're just logs in the water till you get close enough to be eaten. They are ankle biters.
I am a thrill seeker.
That's it.
The other question I have, if we decide to pursue this, do we try to trick Snapjaw, or do we let Snapjaw in on the plan? He wants to drive out the bullywogs and put the lizard folk in charge and give the lizard folk their freedom of choice. Perhaps he would agree to this plan, knowing that it would be short-lived, long enough to overthrow this yoke, but it might bring the other lizard folk into the fold.
I'm still kind of learning of Snapjaw, but I feel like he'd be an asset to not make angry.
Does that mean you want to tell him the truth or try to lie to him?
I think it would be best to tell him the truth. Should we tell them about the warlord idea, like go that far into the truth, or?
That is what I am asking.
Oh,
I would think it would be best to tell him that this is our idea
mhm.
and it will potentially free the lizard folk of the cult. I don't think we should. I don't think it does us any good to hide the fact that we are not with them.
I
Except
think that is good call. Oh, sorry.
Anrin's just kicking a wall right now.
Henry, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that it would be good to tell him the truth. It's always better to be as truthful as you can be, but it's difficult to know whether any of the lizard people would be able to keep that secret for very long. You would keep such a secret, but I don't know about Snapjaw.
The main reason why I think we should tell him the truth about this is because if we tell him that we're not on the cult side, maybe he'll be a bit more open to us. Because right now we have set our affiliation to them, and with that alone, he's kind of brushed us off. So if we were to maybe have a bit more of an in with them, because I think if I remember correctly from last week, the lizard folk really don't like the cult that much. They're just kind of dealing with it until their shaman's in place.
Yes.
See, is that okay? Because I remember that they weren't opposed to it except Snapjaw.
So the lizard folk are more or less indifferent, is what you're coming up with, and they're not being treated well, but they kind of have that we'll just live with it mentality. Snapjaw is seeing that it's probably going to get worse and worse and worse for them as the Bullywogs consolidate their power. He's got a little more vision on it than most of them seem to at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, normally I'd be like, yeah, we can handle it, but I think in this case, if maybe we can like work with Snapjaw and he can be kind of our go-between between possible others who maybe have the same feeling as him, or if we show that like there is a chance that they can win, because right now, no, they're living, they're surviving. It's not great, but it's what they got. I don't think they're going to go and like fight back against these people if there's not a pretty strong guarantee that they have a chance to win. And especially since the cult and the dragon seem to be what was the deal with the dragon again? Because he kind of gave like a kind of response. Like, what was his deal again?
Yeah, your read on the say again.
We picked up a mixed message there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got a mixed message out of him. He seems to acknowledge that, okay, you're of the cult, and I'm not eating cultists right now. But beyond that, you didn't get
He also seemed to think the cultists are idiots.
He did seem to think the cultists were idiots. And
he's on a 30-day cultist cleanse. He just needs to get that out, and then once
run those cycles.
He gets all the cultists out, then
you can ease back in.
Right? Yeah. Well, moderation.
And
a lot of cabbage.
You do know from your previous investigation in the cult, that the cult has undergone a fairly significant change over the last 30 years or less. You know, the old cult was into Draco-liches and undead dragons and that sort of thing. The new
Yeah.
cult seems to be more Tiamat focused. That dragon
Mm.
you saw was obviously hundreds of years old. So
Old Colt was way better than New Colt. The New Colt, it just doesn't have the same kick and flavor.
Just chemically.
Yeah, it just tasted like they added a whole bunch of fake sugar to it. And I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm a big fan of Old Colt.
It caused the kobolds to leave. It was going to scratch his scales.
You know,
Change in management, new recipes. It's just a.
it's terrible.
It's
Bad
really
idea.
Mexico. In Mexico, they still have the old cult. So.
Oh, okay.
Mexican cult is the best cult.
Yeah. That
Coca cult is the
little
next best
sugar
cult.
in it is awesome. And it's
Every
a glass bottle.
time I go out for Mexican food, I get the Mexican cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
these are all valid views into the cult of Tiamat or cult of the dragon. But yeah, the dragon that you encountered wasn't like gung ho about seeing you, and just seemed to have kind of accepted that for the moment. The castle is being controlled by the cultists, and you get the opinion as long as trouble isn't caused, they don't really care. But at the same
Okay.
time, that's kind of your read there. How about a quick Arcana check on that one?
Ooh.
That might be a weak spot in our planning.
Dude, like anything,
Well,
wisdom or intelligence is a weak spot for me. Like Yaz is
okay.
straight up dumb. Like he doesn't.
Can anybody
everybody, how you doing?
or just specifics, Casey?
What's that?
Can any of us do an Arcana check?
I think you're all talking together, so you could get it. Yaz is just not making the connection here.
Nope.
I can't think of any reason why Sho would know anything about this.
Yeah.
I would know.
things.
Yeah, I any of the rest of you, I could see having a reason to know something. I can't think of any reason Sho would know a thing.
So Yaz and Chiquito, you're just not drawing any connections. But Rob, you've connected a dot or two, and sort of looking around and the area here, you realize that this area hasn't been improved in any way by the dragon's actions. If the dragon was really supporting the cult, there's a lot it could have done magically, physically, by improving the environs here. At best, it's ignoring them.
Like, you guys, like, this place is a shithole, right? Like, this is a dump. And
Ooh,
if that
that's good.
dragon were into this place, this,
Okay.
I mean, I different strokes, different folks. I don't know how black dragons decorate, their lair, their house, or whatever, but nobody's done anything in here. I think that dragon doesn't want anything to do with this. I think just as soon ignore it. So,
I can't imagine that the dragon would be fond of a bullywug with a fish head on its head.
well, I mean, as an aperitif, I mean,
Even that, it's been tainted by rotted fish.
sure, but I mean, that dragon looked like he ate a lot of things that were sort of, not what we'd call savory.
He was tenderizing that Hydra pretty good.
Mhm. What I'm curious though is like, he doesn't like him. There, it's kind of mixed. Why does he like not push him out? Is it because it's like they're giving him stuff? Is that why he's like, okay, I'll let you in if you're going to like give me gifts, like whatever? But is it like, because I mean, like, he was big. He could easily like just be like, go away.
Sure.
But no.
So I think for that kind of information, we probably need to start doing a little investigation and maybe talking to folks. Of the folks I threw up on the map here, Snapjaw, you can certainly speak to. Farblex, maybe doesn't have the best feelings towards you, but he is in the building. And Born Grey. Born Grey as well. There are other cultists and bullywogs and lizard folk about, but most of them will not really want to talk to you out of turn. The cultists, you get the idea, paranoia runs very strong in this cult, and if there's any hint that you're up to something that's not a direct command or a very likely success, they don't want to be involved because the penalty for failure is, the only penalty they have.
Gotcha.
So I wouldn't mind talking to Born Grey. If
I
I
don't think you
had
left Born
to.
Grey at the right mindset, though. You tacitly insulted him a couple times.
That is true.
Well, the only other plan that I had was to get another audience with Born Grey and murder him.
So talking with me is preferable to killing him.
Now, see, I see that working with Anran. Yeah, like
Mhm.
you do go up there and like pretend you're gonna talk and then like bash his head in. Sure, I can
Hey
see
there,
that.
guy. Boo.
And we haven't heard anything back from the Harpers or anything, correct?
We haven't tried.
Haven't
Oh,
used the
we
sending
said-
stone.
I haven't called
We
yet.
did. I thought we
We
did.
haven't called yet.
I think you did. You use. I think
Oh, I
one of the
thought we
last
did.
things we said last session was
Yeah.
going to.
Oh,
Yep.
that was.
I don't know
maybe,
if we
we-
have.
maybe we should maybe we should
Maybe
do
we
that
should have
now.
put that in our first 2 days.
Right
that
now.
like, Casey, are you okay with us retconning that we did the sending stone in those 2 days?
I will actually say, let's do the sending stone tonight, and let's say, I
Okay.
thought you did the stone. No, I thought you
Okay.
did the stone. No.
Wait
Oh
a second.
man.
Who the
Uh,
heck is a stone?
but you
That's
have
the
I know
now-
first
now
stone.
why. Now I know why he gave the stone to me. Stone.
Oh, you're a
narrative, but it sounds like us.
I am not the stone speaker. The stone speaker is another member of the tribe.
Oh. Good
Then
to
I-
know.
Aaron.
Am
All
I
right,
the-
so wait, on the table right now, we have a motion for pretending to talk to Born Grey and murdering him.
I know. I was
Did
gonna.
that get too
Yeah,
far
you're
into motion? Or was
Hold on there. Maybe let's go see. Let's see what's going on. Maybe with the Harpers before we decide to kill anybody.
And I said nothing about murder.
no? That was my
Right.
other plan. That was the
You
only
could
other
have.
plan I had.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
So-
it got my ear.
I had two plans. One was Yasby Warlord. The other is just murder.
Also, I mean, I
Both
just
are fun.
go on record right now. I'm
Yep.
normally for like, hey, let everybody be cool, but I don't like bullies, and bullywog is an unfortunate name. Maybe they're leaning into it, but they're acting like bullies, and I can't stand that. So
They
if
bug
we
you in a
burn
whole.
this whole place to the ground, if that works
Yeah.
out for us,
What?
I'm kind of in favor, guys. Like that, other than the lizard folk, I'd like to get the lizard folk out of here, and then who cares what stays? That's sort of where
So
Rob.
I'm guessing. I mean, you don't know any bullywug songs or anything like that, then I guess.
Well, to be fair, I don't know any bullywog songs, but right now I don't want to learn any because they're kind of jerks.
I can get behind everything you just said.
What should I say in the sending?
I mean, if we make a mistake, can we do it again?
Tomorrow.
No, we only get one shot per day, and I
I
think you only get
forgot.
like,
Is it only one way or is it both ways?
They can respond.
They can
They
respond.
and I
okay.
think you only get 25 words.
Correct.
Okay, help me think of the words.
It's a tweet.
We
Not even.
are.
Don't say hello. Don't say hello.
Tracked the treasure to a castle in Merdelaine.
Tracked treasure to a castle in Merdelaine.
You could probably cut
Or-
the A. So tracked
let's give
treasure
her
to
the A.
castle.
Track
in Merdelaine.
treasure
To
in
castle.
Merdelaine.
Merdelaine. Okay, that's 3 words. Track treasure Merdelaine. I think we should put 2 in there. Track treasure to Merdelaine. That's 4.
Chiquito says
I
hi.
think castle is important.
Castle is
Merdelaine.
important. It's a landmark.
Castle
Dragon
5.
Castle?
And I'm saving hi from Chiquito for the end.
in case we have a few extra words.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. Only if we have a few.
But right now, I mean, even with the Chiquito
Trader elf
situation
in
there, we
charge.
still have 17 words.
What we do?
So
What
trader elf in charge
what
must
to
be.
do?
Or should
Let's
we
name
should we
'em,
hint
name 'em.
should we hint to them our plans or throw? Oh yeah, should we name drop? Do we
We
need to
should
name
name
drop?
drop because they might know who Born Gray is, and they could send back like Born Gray super dangerous, avoid or something like that.
Mm.
So I think we should say Born Gray elf in charge. That's 4 more words.
How many do we have left?
Not including Chiquito says hello.
Very important.
We have used 9 without. If with Chiquito says hello, we've used 12, but we've used 9.
Uh-huh.
We say 2 plans.
2 plans. Now we're at 12. We've got 13 left. Maureen, are you actually writing this down so we have it?
Oh,
I'm just counting words.
I'm sure we're gonna be okay.
hold on, let me. I can write. I got pen and paper. Okay.
I
So
really thought Maureen was writing.
I did
I totally
too.
thought so too.
You look like
The
you're
way
writing.
you're leaning forward, you look like you're writing.
I'm holding the stone and waiting to speak to it. This is the stone.
We're committing to the bit. All right.
Okay.
Tracked treasure to castle. What's the place name?
Mare Delane.
Mare Delane. Okay, 1,
What?
2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words.
Have we actually? I'm sorry, Casey. It occurs to me. Have we heard that name, or have we only heard the Mayor of Dead Men?
Both are fine. You know where you are.
Because I realize I may only know that from Neverwinter Nights.
That's okay. So the mirror of dead men. You know all of the various. You know the name of this castle. The cultists use it as well, and you know the areas well enough that you can describe it in that set of words. You could use the dwarven word for it, which is just one word.
We'll do that.
It
I don't
means
speak Dwarvish.
no good swamp full of black dragons.
So when we send the message, are we able to put like tone into it to suggest like a question, like danger?
They're hearing your voice, I think.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are hearing your
okay.
voice.
Hear Anrin's voice. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So,
what I thought.
Hear me speak danger. Then
Okay.
so based on what I'm hearing here, I'm going to ask for Anrin to do an investigation check to get all of these questions and intonations into these 25 words.
Well, we're writing it out.
Oh yes,
Well-
but it's the intonation and the inflection that's going to be the investigation check. There we go, 15. So yes, you communicate well, and will get as many responses as the person you're communicating to can manage on the response.
so our words are
Mm-hmm.
Leosin's just going to call back and say, "You should get captured." That would help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not sending this to Leosin, are we?
Have
There
you
was the other
tried?
guy
Have
we
you
could
tried
talk
getting
to.
captured?
Yeah.
So you
Try
can
to get the whole city captured too. That'd do that.
Yeah.
so you
Yeah,
can send it to
so-
Leosin or to Ontharfroom, your choice.
Anthar.
On Tharfroom.
Leosin.
Okay.
I
So
want to-
far I have 18 words written, and it is tracked treasure to castle Mere Delane. I forget how to say it already. Born Grey, a elf in charge. Danger. Current plan: kill Born Grey, or Yaz becomes warlord.
We
I
might
think that
we
one
might
lacks
need
some
to.
context.
that
we
might
might need
require
to
more
mention that
context.
there are lizard folk tribe
Then-
that you would be warlord of.
Lizard for folk
Wizard
tribe.
folk warlord.
How about or ally with lizard folk?
Oh, that might be better. And that
I
takes
do
out
like
a whole
the
lot
way
of
you
words.
put it, but
Ally with disgruntled lizard folk.
Yes, use disgruntled. because it's a lot of syllables, but it's still only one word.
Yeah.
Use infamous.
Infamous? Infamous?
Infamous.
So should
Cameron is
we?
shipping her glaive at this point.
So
Oh,
I,
This
so
man Leosin
I-
is not just famous.
I think I've got the idea of what's happening. Is there any other concepts that you want to try and slam in there? Otherwise, we'll do a little rounding on the words here.
I feel like it was okay, and I think you could still fit in Chiquito says hello.
Chiquitos.
Okay,
Says I.
but should we tell them that the Resmir individual will be coming in 2 to 3 weeks?
Oh,
We should maybe just 2 weeks.
That is good information to
Just
give.
Yes.
shorten it to 2
Yes.
weeks. They don't need the range. Just shorten it.
2 weeks.
Can
yeah.
we say Resmir Mondath? Arrive in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably pretty close to 25.
Okay.
Sorry, Chiquito, you're out.
And we can always send another one tomorrow to say Chiquito says hi.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
We'll do that. I don't know. We'll see
Once
what
a-
they say back.
Just once a day, Chiquito can send his greetings.
Yep.
We're alive. Hello.
So,
I don't know.
and
Today
Hello.
we had beef stew for dinner. It was very good. How are you?
All very important things to report back to the leadership of the Order of the Gauntlet and the Harpers. So, I got the outline there. Anrin, is there any last moment spins you want to put on that delivery, or is it as written?
it is as written, with the exception of no question mark behind danger. Danger is danger.
Got it.
Danger.
Danger.
No question mark. Danger.
So responding back, and a few moments are taken to kind of compose thoughts. Born Grey, member of Eldrith Valruthra. Dangerous.
Ooh, Eldrith, what?
Eldrith Valruthra.
Eldrith Valruthra.
And I will give you some information on that one in a moment, depending on some rolls you might make. The next phrasing is lizard folk allied with dragon, known enemies.
Whoa. I lost Casey on that. Did
Whoop.
anybody else?
So,
No,
No.
I got it.
lizard folk
Okay, that was just me.
allied with dragon, known enemies.
That mean. But go ahead.
And then the last chunk will be continue, follow, treasure. Cult leadership update appreciated.
Okay.
And then there's a long word in very, very high Elven. And the reason that the word in very, very high Elven is the high Elven allows you to include both an identification of a person, an action, and the description of who is doing it. And it comes out to Leos and says hi. So it's kind of like Spanish, where you can indicate who's doing the action while you say the verb. Just a little bit more improved. So you get a Leos and says hi.
Now we
Chiquito?
look rude. Now we look rude because no one said hi.
No one said hi.
Yeah,
I-
I know.
It's okay. We have tomorrow. We agreed tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can
Tomorrow.
salvage.
And the
Yeah,
entire
rude.
message will be in High Elven. It will give him a headache.
Wait, let's fuck with him. Let's do it in like Low Dwarven.
I could do it
I-
in giant.
I have comprehend.
I can do it in
I'll
half,
burn a
man.
spell for that.
So, could I have, from whoever the party would think would be the most knowledgeable for Eldrith Valruthra, from the sound of it, it is some form of elven group. Maybe a history would give you more detail.
Hmm. Well,
I have proficiency in history.
the elf does not.
I didn't.
If they were in Baldur's Gate at all, maybe, but otherwise no.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, Rob, you know the name, and you know it's a bad news kind of name, but you don't have any of the details. It's you're like, yeah, that's an elven gang, and if I hear it mentioned, I start running. But that's all you got. And
So why?
Anrin, it's
It's city elf baloney.
it's actually not even city elf baloney. It's an unpleasant chunk of history, the kind that isn't talked about, and
Ooh.
therefore you know the word, but you have no association with it other than that it's shameful. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it.
So,
Spicy.
Fit born
Aaron, did you knowledge us on all of that? I am assuming since I got to roll a history on Eldrith Valruthra. Look, it sounds like we should actually just try to figure out how to go wherever the treasure goes. And Snapjaw said that was like a magic garbage chute. At least that's what I'm picturing. If it's where the bullywugs live, like, does that make sense to y'all? Like, maybe our mission's just to jump out. I mean, as much as I want to kill all of these losers, I would just maybe we need to stay on mission.
But why would he ask us to update cult leadership?
He said it was
thank you.
appreciated that
He
we
thanked
told
us for
him.
doing that.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
That's all right.
Well, then, yes, it sounds like he wants us to go hip deep in the mud and go into a portal, which is totally what I would expect Leosin to ask us to do.
Well,
Seems on brand. Well,
that is what they.
as fun as it would have been to become a warlord, I guess we're going dumpster diving.
I feel like that's what they're asking.
How are we going to get down there without some reason for being down there? Farblex.
What if we just march on by? We make it look like we're supposed to be there and we just go.
Yes.
Let's name drop.
We can name drop.
We're
One
working on
great
behalf of Resmir. They've asked us to check on blah 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 blah.
Resmir questions your ability to keep this pathway clear.
She suggested them, did she not?
She did. No, he. Is Resmir a male?
Resmir is female. She.
Okay, she. All right.
We could say that Born Grey questions. That would not be strange.
But that might. I mean, not that any of us care. If everything goes to plan, that would be fine. But we know Born Grey told us. I mean, he's not really in charge. He's only in charge when Resmir's not here. Resmir put him in.
But Resmir is not here, so he is in charge. And it would not be untruthful to say that he does not trust the Bullywugs.
Yeah, I guess I don't. If we don't need to bust somebody who's here, I'd rather not bust them.
So I think my thought would be that we march through and don't give them the opportunity to question it. And otherwise, if they do question, we tell them that Born Grey has given us orders and we are following them. And if they have questions, take it up with him.
Can we be marvelously disdainful?
They also, so the Bullywugs said with some dismay, "Oh, you would dare stand before Born Grey," so they fear him. So if we were to say, Born Grey ordered us to do this, if you have questions, you take it up with him, they are not going to do that.
Here's where I feel like that could go south on us.
Don't even say to do that.
Well, I wouldn't say that unless we have to.
Know how to get down the chute. Like we know there's a portal, but we don't know anything about it. And then they go run up ask Born Grey, and now we got Born Grey and these bullywugs, and we're trapped at the bottom with no way out.
If they go up, you just slap them and say, "How dare you!"
And portals rarely stay just wide open. It could be closed when we get there.
What if this is an indelicate suggestion, but what if we implemented my plan B first?
Kill Born Grey?
Yes. And then we go to the portal, and if anyone stops us, we tell them take it up with Born Grey, and he's not there. So
Then they can't talk to him. And they
Exactly.
stay there and be confused.
What if he's no?
I don't
He
know
can't
about
be the
that.
only person who can open the portal.
And I
As
don't want to
Modian
die to
advocate
anonymity.
here, I'm just saying, like we were just warned, he might be super dangerous.
Yes.
it might be.
I mean, and again, I'm not going to deny that before we sent that message, I was super on team. Let's just go up and kill him.
He did
But
not look unbreakable.
So let's give a little more information about the world around us as you've been studying it. And let's zoom out a little bit here so we can throw some arrows on the map. You were assigned this area right over here. A lovely little room full of centipedes and other such nastiness that you had to squish and discard before you get out. Most of the cultists are holing up in this long hallway right here and using that to sleep and work in. That's because that area is reasonably clean, reasonably dry, reasonably nice. This area, not so much. One of the major reasons for that is this stairway right here goes both up and down. Up leads to the second floor of the castle. Down leads down to what you have to imagine is a bullywog, just area of mud and nastiness. The air coming off up there is full of spores and fungus. You can see that after just the first 5 or 10 steps, there's mud and slime caking it. The bullywogs move in and out of that area fairly frequently and do seem to have guard posted on the stairs, though they seem very lax about it, as if they can't even imagine anyone would go down there without their permission. Throughout the rest of the castle, most of the stairs are only heading up. There is a chute that was used to move treasure down to it, down to the lower stairs, but you could not fit down there. Just not an option, and most of the larger barrels and such had to travel down the area near where you are bunked. Born Grey, during the day, spends most of his time up in the observatory, so into this room right here. And in the nights, actually spends a fair bit of time up there as well. He's of the elven inclination to only need 4 hours or so of meditation, and seems to want to stay as high up as possible, as far away from the muck and the nastiness below. Speaking of waste disposal, this tower over here, yeah, that's where all the trash goes. So right in there on the floor, that is just absolute horror. You would not want to be going into that tower for any reason, unless you wanted to, reenact a Star Wars scene. Beyond that, lizard folk tend to be down in this area. Area's kept a little bit cleaner, and down here, the lizard folk do have that forge that Born Grey is trying to train them to use, seeking to teach them to craft finer metals. They go for pure functionality. As soon as it's sharp enough, it's sharp enough. They don't fall into his desire to learn the finer things about mithril and lighter weapons and such things because they don't need it. Over here, the lizard folk keep the giant lizards, and throughout the whole place, bullywogs are everywhere. Bullywogs are everywhere. If that gives you any additional insight, this is where your hangout and private area is in general. That's down towards the lower floors, but yeah, you're probably going to get noticed. That's up to where murder might happen. Again, probably going to get noticed. And there is a whole second floor that you have no real business to be in, so I don't think you've found an excuse to investigate, without looking very obvious that you're poking around.
We could take an extra day to investigate that by someone who is invisible.
Yeah.
All
to
right.
find out what is up there.
Sure could. Are you going to investigate the upper, the second floor? The massive tower that you were using that went up to the observatory is basically a straight up shot, a little bit detached from the rest of the castle.
Another thought has occurred to me that Born Grey gave us a task, which is to lift up the lizard folk.
Mm.
Maybe observing the ways in which the lizard folk do their work could be a step in helping to determine what we could do to encourage them to do differently and better. That would give at least one of us a reason to watch what happens when the treasure goes downstairs.
Sure.
Or do the lizard, yep. And so we could at least see what is happening and understand how the portal works.
That would be good. If we take on like a mentorship sort of role.
Well, I was thinking more of an overseer. I'm watching type of role for the moment, just to see what's happening. Not against the lizard folk, but to see how they are working together with the bully rod.
Sure. So let's go ahead and advance a evening into the next day as some of this investigation goes on. So this will be your third day out of potentially 2 weeks with a little bit of wiggle space there. And you're able to observe the lizard folk. They've been given instruction to obey the cultists, so you do have some seniority there. They are basically acting as porters and guards, and you can see that another batch of lizard folk have headed out with several of the giant lizards, expected to return in about 2 days with more treasure. Some of the larger barrels and chests that can't be moved by a lizard folk with a flat-bottomed boat are loaded up onto the giant lizards and brought back. That'll be another 2 days before the next treasure delivery returns, or the treasure fetch happens. While that's happening, you can see that the lizard folk are on patrol, laboring about, trying to do upkeep on the castle itself, as well as doing some work within the forge when Born Grey does assist them with that. As far as lifting them up, educating them, or supervisory, what are you looking to tell them to do, teach them to do, or encourage them to do?
I don't want to actually convince the lizard folk to assist in Born Grey. If there is a way, convince the lizard folk to play into the hands, but I don't think they're really interested in that, from what I've seen.
So you have a little longer vision than most of the lizard folk that you meet up with. You've seen more and further than they do. Now, they are perfectly content to swim around, defend their territory, and eat fish. Um, but you could give them insight into, I mean, their territory could be bigger, their fish could be more plentiful. But to do that, you might need to talk up the cult. I mean, when Tiamat rules the world, she could give them a huge swamp. Those nice ones just a little bit further south that the humans have taken over. You know, that area around the Delta by Baldur's Gate. Mwah!
This is true.
But do you want to
It
talk
hurts.
up the cult?
It hurts. I don't know. Because we could use the fact that we're expected to help them to get into the portal and figure out where the heck it goes. But that also means talking up the cult of the dragon.
It could also mean talking about how to do things in ways that are more efficient and give them more time to not do the work that they're required to do at the castle. So maybe showing them just a little bit how to make a sharper knife, so that it takes them less time to scrape the lichen off of the castle
Sure.
or whatever they're doing,
So
and then they can catch better fish, or at least get more of the fish.
So go ahead and give me, let's call that one a survival check. We'll start with a
Okay.
survival. Okay. So you go to give them some instruction, and almost immediately you recognize, for all of your woods skills, these lizard folk are perfect for their environment. When they want something sharp, they basically just reach down into the muck and come up with exactly the sharpness they need. They know if they want to cut something, if they want to trim something, they just have it. This is their space. Now, the castle, there's not really castles in swamps normally. That's a little bit unusual. So they're willing to observe what you're doing, but you can see it's just not landing. They have millennia of perfecting living in this swamp. And you're like, yeah, you could learn how to sweep a floor with a broom. And like, I could just slide across on my belly and be back in the swamp in 5 minutes. So it's rough giving them that kind of instruction. They just don't have the interest, because there's no reason for it. You can't argue to, be happier than already being happy. But you do give them some tips. They do seem to be able to ape that, but there's no appreciation for it.
That is fine.
So
Their appreciation is less important than the fact that we appear to be doing what we're supposed to be doing.
sure, absolutely. And I just heard Shady Bonsai 20-month subscription.
Wow.
So well done. So you do a little bit. You put in the good work there. You are showing them tricks to make the castle stronger, and to better able to survive. This castle was built on a pretty solid foundation, but the land looks to have been dry when it was initially built. So the additional water, it wasn't really designed for that. So you are showing them ways to handle that and plants that could help to shore up the areas that are turning to mud and muck. Beyond that, and yeah, you've improved their style a little bit. What else are you after with them?
Hey, thanks, City.
Ooh. Everybody do please mark down a reroll. Put your post-it notes
Right.
up.
Hey, bro.
Oh, and yes, happy birthday, by the way. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Shady.
And happy
Happy
belated birthday to
birthday,
certain
Cindy.
other people.
Yeah.
+1.
+1.
Heck yeah.
So,
Post-it note updated.
lizard folk are learning. You're putting in the effort. Born Gray seems appreciative of this, as he's working the forge with them, giving instruction. The frustration is evident on his face that they don't seem to want to learn what is obviously a superior craft, but he keeps plugging away.
So, is he observing us now? Has he talked to us at all?
You're doing this a little bit on the sly, so he's not so obvious as to how's it going. But he can see you. You pass in the hall, and like all the other cultists, you offer your greetings, you throw your hand signs, and so on.
I'd rather wait for another day to find out if we can find out how the portal works than start to talk to him yet.
Sure. Now, as you're working with the lizard folk, and you work the conversation around to the portal, you realize that the lizard folk are banned from the lower levels. The bullywogs have taken it over entirely, and that's one of the reasons that the bullywogs are able to keep such lax guard. Only bullywogs are allowed down there. Born Grey, of course, is head of the castle. Could, but you get the feeling he does not want to step down into that kind of mud if he can at all avoid it.
If this is a weakness, though, that he doesn't, that there is a weakness then there that is being hidden or disguised by Farblex that could actually endanger the operation, and he is not attentive to it because he doesn't want to get his little feet wet, that could be bad.
Or it could give us a reason to have to go down there. We could convince him to actually order us down there.
Yes, we could.
Because he does not want to go. And it would be good if someone who is not an idiot were looking at things below.
And he doesn't really enjoy far blacks.
No.
Yeah,
And maybe we kind of say now that we're kind of
now that
getting
we're
more,
here.
and maybe it's working well with the lizard folk and whatnot. Maybe it's a good idea that we go and take a look about it and maybe see how bad those bullywogs are doing. The bullywogs
Perhaps we could suggest to Bongray that we go down there to find problems that Bongray can tell Resmir in his plea to have the lizard folk elevated and the bullywogs thrown out.
or even create problems.
We have no experience with that.
Nope.
Are you sure? I think we have created many problems.
No. Yeah, no. Yes. No. Yeah.
Well, they are resolved very quickly, usually with fire.
So,
or
you
some
think maybe that might be the next step? Go talk to Born Gray.
And not murder him.
Yeah. No, maybe not. Who knows if we're even
Okay.
gonna be here?
if it comes to self-defense, then I will absolutely murder him.
If the subject were to come up in casual conversation,
If the conversation should turn to murdering it, sure. So the two places that you're most likely to be able to talk to Born Grey would be up in the observatory, or while he's down working with the forge. With the forge, there would be lizard folk about. Up in the observatory, you would have his attention entirely. Which of the two did you wish to approach him, or did you want to try and catch him en route?
it seems to me that this would be a topic you would broach in private because it is part of his plan that doesn't necessarily align with his orders. So
Seems,
he
maybe
may
the
appreciate
observatory.
if it were quieter.
seems reasonable. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the map over to the observatory here. Doo-doo-doo. And this is 3.5 floors up, and has a large domed ceiling. It looks as though that dome is mechanically activated, can rotate in some way, and there's a large brass and glass device that you've identified as some sort of far-seeing device. It looks like a giant spyglass. Born Grey tinkers with it occasionally, but you can tell by his movements that he's a little light touch with it, maybe a little nervous about potentially breaking it. So was not using it with the confidence and swagger that he uses when otherwise working, such as at the forge. As you approach, he says, "Hail, Tiamat, and welcome to you. Was there something you needed?"
Well, sorry. I cut you off.
No, I was going to nudge you to say something.
So this is not good news then. Well, out with the bad news.
I wouldn't necessarily call it bad news, but it's an idea that has been toying in our minds.
Go
You
on.
you are looking to find a way for the lizard folk to be more in charge of the treasure handing off instead of the bullywugs, yes? Is that how I understand it? You just don't like them.
The bullywogs are unpleasant and altogether unworthy of our queen. But the lizard folk have not enough motivation. Bullywogs are at least active participants. And if all lizard folk had your motivation, then this would be wonderful. But unfortunately, they just can't see the rewards that will come to them when the queen rises.
I had the pleasure of having a good mentor as a hatchling, so that's how I became what I am today. But besides that, we couldn't help but think back to how you mentioned your unpleasantness with the bullywogs, and if it would be better to somehow help you find reasons for them not to be working down below. Would you want us to be a second pair of eyes to give you updates on what's going on down below? Because currently you only have the one with the fish head.
Farblex.
Yes.
Well, of the things that is wrong with him, one that is not is his attention to detail. I've tried several times to catch him either pilfering from the goddess's donations or in any way interfering with the treasure, but everything that is sent down is recorded and reported at the destination. So I've not been able to catch any laxity, but if you're willing to investigate down there, I see no real harm with it.
I see. We ask because it does not have to do with the lizard folk as you have asked, but I don't know if displeasure is quite the right word with it. But I'm going to still use it anyway. Your displeasure with the with the bullywogs has been noticed, and we are of the mind that we can appreciate it. So if we may help you in such an area, we are willing participants.
So let's go ahead and throw a little bit of a persuasion on there. We're going to say with advantage because you've all come up with a fairly solid plan, and we just need to not, tip your hand too much here.
Sounds good. Deep breaths. Persuasion.
Oh, 14.
So the advantage help. We got a 14 over there.
I know, I'm like,
Just gonna see if this offer is a little too good to be true, though. We're just gonna.
You could use a reroll.
Do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want to use a
know.
reroll?
I know I do. What do you think? Because it's not bad, but
Well,
it
you're
could be
rerolling
better.
with advantage, right? So
That's true.
your chances of one of them being higher than a 10 is pretty good.
That's true. All right, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
It's not my fault if it's not, though.
It might be a little
Oh
bit.
man, I can't blame you.
Oh!
There you go. You had to speak it. You spoke it and made it real.
Ruh-roh.
Ed!
Oh no!
I said it's not my fault, though.
So, does Born Gray see this as being just a little bit too, good to be true?
Oh yeah.
He would have
Yeah.
anyway.
might.
Yeah, he would have anyway.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah,
But I put
you're
in a reroll.
you're
I
being
had meant to inspire you.
yeah, and you can see that he's like, yeah, that would be very helpful. He's like, that would be helpful. Why don't you let me think on that this evening, and I'll send my decision down in the morning. Woo! Oh, Sith Lord Dave has just bought everyone a reroll to help them get even lower scores. Thank you,
Hell
Sith
yeah.
Lord Dave.
Oh, I didn't even mark it off yet. Okay, cool. So I can just leave it.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. With that, he has to be like, no problem. Take your time. We will. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Ooh, and the DM gets a reroll.
I was just going to say something stupid.
Just idea we were tossing around. But we will focus efforts on lizard folk until new orders arrive.
Excellent, excellent. And Yaz, would you be so kind as to roll me an insight check?
Okay. Really not good at insight. I have a reroll now, though. Hey, okay.
There we go.
That's pretty
Nice.
good.
It's
So,
kind of
you can tell Born Gray is, acting like he's going to consider this, but you've put a foot to the side there. You suspect that once, you've gone, he's going to start inquiring rather than just thinking it over. You don't think, you've given it away yet, but you've done something suspicious.
Okay. I'm not going to. Yaz isn't going to talk anymore. This requires some, perhaps, talk with the group.
Okay. So everybody's heading back downstairs to the communal room? Yes, no? Yes?
So.
Been dismissed.
Okay. You head back downstairs to your decentipeded room. You can still smell that wafting stench coming up from the stairs. There's really nothing to be done about it. But you do have, air quotes, privacy. What are you doing or talking about now?
Guys, I think he knows.
yeah.
I wondered if perhaps the topic was about to come up.
Yeah, he's suspicious. I say we kill him.
See, here's the thing, though. Like, does he have a way now? Like, we don't know what he can do. Does he have a sending stone too? Can he talk to one of those people? Are they going to get here earlier than 2 weeks? I'm starting to get a little nervy here, folks.
So if we need to kill him now.
Well, yeah, or get to where the treasure is and get out of here to where the treasure is, or both. I mean, I'm good with all of those things, but maybe we ought to find out what's downstairs so we know where we're going when we get down there.
Well,
And go down
he
there.
did say that there was no reason we shouldn't do that before we kept talking.
So just go down as if we own the place.
Yes.
I mean, I'm saying that that sounded sarcastic. I didn't mean it that way.
No, I think that is exactly how we do it.
Can we not go down without being seen?
Well, I
first?
can make 2 of us invisible. That's all I got. In fact, I don't even think I can do that yet. Never mind.
I think the risk of being discovered when we're trying not to be seen is outweighs the benefit of not being seen. I think we go and we act like we're supposed to.
Yeah, I can make 2 of us invisible.
Because if we try to be hidden and we go and we get caught, then
Then we
we
look
f-
super stinky.
yeah. But if we just go and we act like we are supposed to, we have already established a rapport with the bullywogs that we are not to be questioned.
Yeah.
Oh,
I say we roll with that. Sorry.
I forgot. I can make myself look like other people now.
That's right.
So going
All
back
that
to that
talk of-
blushing
You can do
question,
what?
she can blush
yeah,
now.
I was saying,
Or he can
going back
blush
to
now.
that blushing question, I changed my cheeks to a rosy red. But no, like for real, I can like I'm gonna I think it's
Pretty much at will, isn't it?
it's at will. So I'm gonna
Yep.
be like I'm gonna go like whoop, like where you go to like change your facial expression, and I make it look like Chiquito,
Get there, whoa!
and then I go back up and I look like Sho, and I go back down and I look like Ron.
What the hell? Where
This
you been
been something.
doing?
I
You
go
get a
back
good
to
sleep?
normal.
Why the hell you do that?
I was talking to the Warhammer head last night, and I think he's been enjoying what's going on recently.
Do I really have that zit? You should have told me.
I'm sorry, but I could do these things now. If it's useful, I could do it. But yeah,
Well, I think you are right, Rob, that we should go. But perhaps, Yaz, you could look like a bullywog and go first.
I can certainly give that a try. I'm going to try to look like a bullywug.
You could look like Bongray.
Oh, I think the bullywog is safer.
But Bongray may not have to speak.
Mm. Do we, from what we've seen so far, does Born Grey, does he go down there? I know you said he tries not to.
So you
But
get the
does he?
impression that he does not unless absolutely required, and he has not in the days since you've been here. So with Farblex doing their job, and from the conversation upstairs, it sounds like it's probably been some weeks since Born Grey was last down there. What when he was talking about having tried to entrap Farblex, sounded like that was a time ago. And then basically he exhausted that avenue and decided,
Not worth it.
not worth it.
Gotcha. Okay. I think Bullywug might be a safer option.
And Galaxian, the suspicious person is the elven leader Born Grey. The party has been just a little too helpful, maybe a little more than evil cultists who have to prefer murder to get into the cult normally are. So, I hear some disguise options. The stairway's just over there. You can hear the croaking coming up from below of the bullywogs, and maybe a little deeper, more animalistic croaking as well. You get your ribbits and your robots.
Ribbit. Do the Bullywugs speak like a Bullywug language? Or
They speak common to you.
Okay.
Bullywogs do have a bullywog language.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna need an excuse to not speak.
Do you have a bullywog toothache?
Just croak at them.
I could try to do like a Chiquito when he rambles.
Wait, what?
Oh, nothing. All right. I'll try turning into a bullywog if that's helpful. And if I can, I think I can, right? As long as it's humanoid. I don't know.
I believe you could get to a bullywog shape.
Cool. Disguise self at will. That's so cool. I forgot I had that.
And so, any other preparations or attempts that I should be aware of before you try and descend the stairs into the lower levels of the castle?
I'm gonna give a little boop on Rob's nose.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's. Good.
okay. I'll take it.
Let's go ahead and do our 5-minute scramble drinks refill. And I'm going to switch maps and do some copy pasting. And then we will pick back up. I'm going to leave the audio and video on so they will be able to hear you and also hear me curse as I hit buttons here. So feel free to mute yourself or hit the camera button if you're doing something that shouldn't be on stream.
All right, I'm just gonna say this. I don't care. The bullywogs do the. All I could hear in my head was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11, 12.
Bullywogs go to the bullywog picnic. Ugh.
That must be something that you sing.
And with
Before
that,
you do
I'll be
something
back.
Anybody remember that Sesame Street business? All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Drawing need to vicious mock a bullywog.
Or bullywogs. They deserve everything they get. All right. Get this.
Hey, Galexian, I'm at 47. I'm not far behind you, and I lived for that thing. I also liked the pinball machine one.
Yes.
It was trippy.
There's
Yeah,
a
I love the pinball machine one.
there's a musician slash engineer slash creator of things that has a YouTube channel called Wintergarten. And his music device reminds me a lot of those. It's basically a big marble machine that plays music.
Nice.
It would be Winter Garden, except with a T instead of the D in garden.
Okay.
But that is one of the ones that I just watched to make time pass. All right.
I learned about hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy?
The hurdy-gurdy yesterday. That was fun.
Are you gonna get one?
You're gonna get a hurdy-gurdy?
I
Those
would
are
love
really
to get
cool.
hurdy-gurdy. I don't know that I can afford one.
I saw a kit for making one. That'd be kind of.
Wow, that sounds dangerous on a lot of levels.
Well, only if you get your Gertie and your Hurdy.
You could hurdy your Gertie that way.
Thanks to my cool new headphones, I am now listening to the pinball sound on the street and you guys at the same time.
There we go.
9, 10, 11, 12. All right, now I need to hear the ladybug one because I thought that was that one. "10, 11, 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everybody go to the picnic. 10, 11, 12. All right, if we get into a bullywug fight, I'm definitely using this for inspiration.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
11, 12. We're fighting 12 bullywogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What else could it be?
Every time we kill one, you have to do the different version of the song that ends on the different number.
11.
So here we just get Anrin, and then we will be back up and running.
Sorry, I'm here. I just
Oh,
forgot to
no
turn
worries.
the camera back on.
All right. So the party dons their disguise and makes their way down the stairway. The first steps down are normal, and then it becomes rather muddy and slippery as you continue down. The stairs bend a few times before you finally see them open up into what looks to be a natural cavern. You realize that the castle must have been built on a fairly substantial outcropping of rock. It has done a fairly good job of holding back the water because you realize at this point you are below the level of water in the moat outside. The ceiling of the cavern is about 10 foot high. The area that you're in is lit by lanterns. Most of them oil lanterns that look like they haven't been cleaned very well in quite some time. The light itself is dim. You can see muddy footprints of bullywogs moving about. A quick check of the floor. Say again?
I'm sorry, Casey, I might have missed. We have some sort of light for the one person without dark vision?
There are oil lamps lit on the walls
Okay,
in the
thank you,
area you're
sorry.
in.
Wait,
Okay, I missed that.
who all went down?
We all did, didn't we?
Apparently, we have all gone down.
So
I was
you're
under the impression that Yaz, as a bullywog, was going down to scout, but I was wrong.
so my impression was you're all going to the top of the stairs, and then the plan was for Yaz to move forward as a bullywog.
That
Yes.
makes more sense to me.
Okay, got it. So basically, you are at the stairs. You've reached the muddy point. You can now see where it would bend around and open up to the cavern. And you can see that the floor is covered in mud and muddy footprints. All those footprints are bullywog. No lizard folk, no booted feet, no human feet. And now I get to ask, Yaz, would you please go ahead and move your token forward as you choose? And at this point, as you start to make the bend, Yaz will disappear from view from the rest of the party. If the rest of the party wishes to move up, do go ahead and let me know. But they will not be able to see, so they will not be privy to the wonderful things Yaz is about to see.
Not privy to the new shit.
Not privy.
Ha!
That's
I
where
get to
some
see the new
belongs.
shit.
in
Here
the
we go.
shit.
The privy.
The privy's the best place for this shit.
And that's what you pay me for.
So yeah, as you can see, water covering the floor here has been somehow leached in through, and a passageway that's a bit flooded heading off to the northeast there. This map is nice to me. North is up. To the northwest, you can see another passage heading off in that direction, and a flight of stairs leading up to the southwest, a flight of southeast, excuse me, a flight of stairs leading down. What would you like to do?
I think you mentioned that there was a lot of bullywug footprints.
There are a ton of bullywog footprints all over the place, and the floor here is covered in mud and muck. Not far down below the muck, you can feel the solid stone of the floor, but it seems like some effort's been made to really dirt this
Gunk.
place up.
All right. Okay. I guess maybe I wouldn't see it here. Well, just in case, is there anywhere in like the tracks that I do see that suggests they're pulling like treasure boxes, something into an area?
Sure, go ahead and give me a survival check on that one.
Okay. Survival button. You're the one. All right.
Is there anything you'd like to say about that roll?
I wish the numbers were flipped, but that's about it.
Okay. So your investigation, it's hard to tell. The mud around here, it kicks. The bullywog have those weird feet, and they like to jump. So even when they're not, carrying much, there's a big impact from them as they, take their steps. And it seems like the last few that were through this way were of the jumping kind, so they have splattered mud all over any of the footprints of the more heavily laden ones.
I already wish I had everyone else here. I am not mentally equipped for this job. And he starts going forward towards the stairs.
Sounds good.
Take a little peek.
So you take a little peek to the southeast, and those stairs continue to descend.
Question mark?
Question mark.
Hey, Casey,
Yeah,
can I jump in for a second?
sure. What you want to do?
I'm going to point at the direction that I think we know Yaz went
Hmm.
and say, Yaz, how far are you planning to go with message?
Okay. Yeah, as you get a little whisper in your brain. How far are you planning to go?
Not too far. I don't know how much I can say, but I don't want to go too far.
Sure.
I just want peaks.
All right, he's just going to go a little farther, y'all. Then I think if we're going to keep up the ruse of looking like we own the place, we're going to have to move out. We can't just be lurking in the stairwell.
Do you want me to just walk forward?
Let's give Yaz a little bit of time.
So Yaz, those stairs do continue to descend, wrapping around to the right and down to the south. There's a little cubby down to the southeast that you can make out down there. And wow, that's pungent. Oh, that'll wrinkle your nose hairs that you don't even have. There is just a smell coming up here, and you smelled bullywogs. You've been dealing with them in the castle. This is where they get it from. And down a little bit further to the south, you can see that a room opens up. And could I have a stealth check from you, please? Oh, you know what? Better question. Are you sneaking, or are you boldly striding in your bullywog hop?
Yaz probably would have been sneaking.
Okay, so my question was going to be either a stealth or a deception. So if you are sneaking, could I see the stealth, please?
Sure. Oh.
Good.
Okay.
I like those numbers.
So you can see down to the south. This room is covered in at least a foot of just absolute boot-sucking mud. Towards the south side, you can see a bullywog fully laid down in the mud, just its eyes peeking up in that way that frogs and toads often do. And it's just having a great time. You can tell that the air down here is a little chill, but that mud, you can kind of feel the heat coming up off of it from the decaying vegetable matter and underneath. So the mud's probably, a little bit warmer, and that's just right in the face smell. The bullywog doesn't seem to have noticed you yet, but there is at least one down there in the mud. How many more might be just below the mud surface? You're not sure.
Good to know. All right, I'm going to go back up. Boop, 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 boop,
Okay, you
boop.
start making your way back up the staircase.
Heck yeah,
Get a little bit of not quite fresh air, but it's better than it was.
for sure. Are those other stairs going up?
Those other stairs also descend.
Question mark.
Descend.
Okay,
Yeah, the stair drawing makes me think they ascend, but they descend.
okay. I'm going to first kind of peek at them.
Okay.
Um,
A bullywog
and give-
rounds the corner.
Huh?
give
I
me-
kill it.
No.
We're supposed to be here.
I know you're supposed to be here.
Oh,
Um,
it's you. What the-
I know it's scary, right? I've only gone down to the southern corridor that's down there.
Mhm.
It really smells like really bad. And there appear to be at least one bullywug hiding in the muck below. There could be more, don't know, but I haven't checked up what's up ahead. But I first wanted to speak to you first. It's smelly and scary down there.
Down's the way we gotta go, though, right? Like, I mean, they're not up is not gonna be where the portal is, right? Isn't that gonna go back to the castle?
I think they both go down.
Oh,
That was just the closest option, so I looked there
I
first.
thought this one went. I'm sorry.
No, just letting you know what I saw. Do you want me to go look at the other one?
I don't think we should all hang out in the staircase any longer.
Okay.
We could just go back to our room. It's not far.
That's true.
That's true. Do you want me to take a look and report back? Or you could do your mind message.
That might be safest.
All right.
If we just go to our room, then we're not standing in the stairway.
You know what?
And
I'm gonna
speaking of
go ahead
standing
and
in a
just-
stairway,
Oh no.
as Chiquito says, you know what? Could I have a fateful D20 for our wandering monster potential encounter? You would like to see a high number on your D20. 16 is high enough. You get
That's
to
a
finish
high.
your sentence there, Chiquito.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and turn to a little
Frog.
spider.
Oh, yes.
Maybe frog. No, I'm gonna turn to a spider. Baby, I'm gonna go on your person there, yes. I'm gonna go on just in case it gets a little hairy or dicey.
That's a good idea.
I'll be
I
there
like
with
much
you.
better. I like that.
Spider?
I'm gonna be with little spider. Little
Right.
spider, not a big one.
And then Anrin and Show and I'll go upstairs and I'll message you guys in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'll message Yaz. So
Then that leaves you here alone, and the
no,
two of them in the
no,
mud.
I can still go upstairs with you and still message them. I think I have 120 feet. We'll see.
We will see.
Okay, so could those who are heading upstairs, like all the way upstairs, just move themselves into this area down
Far
here?
upstairs is it?
What's that?
How far did we go down? Would I have a rough estimation?
40 feet or so. No, that's way too much. You traveled 40 feet horizontally. You went down like 15.
All right. Yeah, I'll go back up into the room then. That gives me 115 feet. Now I'm gonna just sort of vaguely give that description. Like, don't go more than like 100 feet, really, or I won't be able to message you.
Okay.
And
Will
those who
do.
are staying on the stairs, if anyone can stay on the stairs, those who are going downstairs, go ahead and move themselves a little bit out, just so I can get a confirmation of who is where.
So up to the room is move out here. Okay.
Yep, just move out to that little cubby there.
I feel like I should have stayed on the stairs.
Okay. So, Chiquito and Yaz, Yaz being the locomotive force, where are you heading?
North. Correct north.
The real north.
True north. Boop, 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 boop.
To the top, which is down.
It is the top down.
It's top down.
It is a top down map. Wahaha. So, what we discover is those steps do indeed descend. And as they descend, they reach a about 15-foot cliff face. Now that cliff is going from where you... Man, that is just the worst drawing.
Yeah, it does look like it's going down.
I'm gonna triple double check myself.
Everything looks go up. Yeah.
From 9 to 10. Yeah, so 9 the area you are going to be standing in is higher. So you have gone down. There is a flat area, and then this goes down from here. So this is about 15 feet down.
Okay. Wow, that's really messing with my head right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that at all.
I had to close one eye, and kind of flip my mind. I got it now. You have to look at it like we're
Dude.
looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
see a
just
sailboat.
lean to the side there.
I see a sailboat.
And I apologize. So yes, and now
It looks like my childhood.
so the highest spot is here. You've gone down a bit, then there is a ledge, and that is a 15-foot drop. Set up at the top of the ledge is a crane. It is a wooden contraption, rope and such, and would be useful in lowering heavy objects from the higher area to the lower, or bringing heavy objects from the lower area to the higher. There is no objects upon it other than the crane itself. It's a simple affair, a couple of pulleys, a couple of sticks, and so on. But as you are admiring that handy work, could I have from Chiquito or Yaz, whoever would like to, a D20, you would like to see a high number, and from the other group, could I have a D20, you would also like to see a high number. Chiquito bringing in the 19, that's nice and high.
I like that.
Show bringing in the 16, also good. Nothing particularly exciting happens. You can see, Yaz and Chiquito, that a hallway continues heading off to the west in this direction. It opens up a bit down there, and this area is much more dimly lit. You would have difficulty seeing without some form of dark vision off in this direction.
And would I know from speaking with Rob that could I go a little further, or like for his messaging, or?
So you have a reasonable sense of distance, and you know you're pushing it where you are now. You Eldritch Blast enough, you know if you're outside of Eldritch Blast range. So you're like, I need to be 2 steps closer than Eldritch Blast range.
Correct.
I think
That's
I'll
true.
cast, I don't know, message.
Nice.
So, been about 2 minutes. Anything promising that way?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but
It doesn't have the word count as much. It's
Oh.
like a brief message back. Yeah, it's a
got
little
you.
more vague.
Okay. Hard to say. At sending limit, see a cliff, short cliff. If that was 6 seconds, I don't know. I should have asked if I could go back. Can I throw that in there?
Yeah. Well, no, that's up to Casey, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we regroup? Well, I'll have to send another message then that says, "Why don't we regroup?" Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a little further peek before actually going back.
Okay. So you creep a little bit further, and now you can just see, you've got just close enough to see over the edge of that little cliff face, and there's actually a small ladder, to assist in climbing up and down, leaned against the side there. So along with the crane, there's also a reasonably easy way to get up and down that 15-foot rise.
Okay. I'm not gonna go any further, so I don't create concern, and I'm gonna start making my way back.
Sure. As you start making your way back, now that you're heading in that direction, you realize there's a bit of mist being kicked up as you're moving back to the south and the east. Hard to notice when you're walking with it, but now that you're walking against it, you're kind of kicking a little bit off the ground. Very low lying, maybe just a little cloud, an inch or so off the ground. Now that you've noticed it, you can't not notice it. It's just dampening the tops of your feet as you move.
Interesting. Can I, like, as I'm kind of rounding this water area, can I kind of take a little bit of a peek down that tunnel?
Sure. So down that tunnel seems to be where the mist is originating from, and given the slant of the ground, that's where it's flowing down and then down that cliff face. So that little tunnel there is about 3 feet high above the water, so you can't see too far into it. You get kind of low and crouched and stare. And do you have dark vision?
Good question. I don't think I do actually.
Okay.
No.
So the light
Lizards.
the light cuts out. There's just not enough illumination for you to see all the way back in that direction.
Gotcha.
But
This
I
makes-
do, as a little
Oh.
spider, I got 30 feet of dark vision.
Got 30 feet of dark vision there, little spider. So
Yeah.
you see it to about there.
Yeah. Oh,
Chuck him.
there's water there.
There's water there. Are you a water spider?
Should have been a frog.
Should have been a frog.
Damn it.
Chiquito, are you going
Yes.
exploring? Are we having another spider adventure? All right. As you make your way back, Yaz, could I have one more of those fateful D20s?
Okay.
14, nice and high. No encounters as you make your way back up the stairs, padding your way up. Now, which spell are you using to change your looks?
It's disguise self, but it's through like the invocation thing that warlocks get. So I can just do it at will to keep it up.
Okay, got it. Sounds good. You all gather again in the room of privacy above. What are you doing?
I'm going. I'll tell them. So I didn't get to see much because more things were out of the speaking range. There is a ladder that can help us.
There's a crane.
Down.
There's a crane that we could take to go. That's where they take the supplies, down that way, the north way.
What he said.
Seems like
Sorry,
a reasonable
I
deduction.
got stuck on the map again. I was like, down, up, up, down.
There's a crane. We found which way the supplies go.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Portal is that way.
I did say that, but I've been muted for a while. I don't know how.
Well, let's go that way. I mean, let's just get her done, right?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Anybody got any problems with us just rushing forward into this, only knowing half of what we need to know?
So
we
you
know more
saw.
than
Maybe.
enough.
Should we? So should we?
No, I'm just saying it's
You-
business as usual. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
we
should we use the stone now and talk to the?
For the past
The
few weeks,
gauntlet,
we have
or-
been talking and lying to people. I'd rather rush blindly.
no, I totally get that, and I'm good at lying.
So as a few
I
minutes
think-
pass, could I have another fateful D20, please?
Oh boy,
Whose turn is it?
It's Anrin's turn.
I think it is.
unfortunately, yes. Well, wish me luck, guys.
Here it comes. Yes.
Yeah, it's Andrew's turn.
18's
Hey.
nice and high.
So, did you see anything in the water? Because we could see the
Mm.
water from where we were standing.
There's a mist coming down from the water. I noticed that.
I could not see far enough. I am ashamed to say I cannot see in the dark.
Oh,
I
there's
know
no
lizard.
shame
I
in
know
that.
lizard
can't
folk are
either.
amazing, but we
Oh,
can't see in
you
the dark.
are amazing. You are amazing for all of the other things you can do, and you don't need that
Right.
to make you amazing. You're great
I
the way
cannot-
you are, yes.
I cannot pretend to be someone I am not, so we both have skills.
That's true.
I am
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
awe.
But yeah, no idea what's down there.
Let's just go.
I agree. Let's
Okay.
go.
Let's go before
Yes.
we get found out. It sounds like we don't have much time anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like we've kind of overstayed our welcome. Time
I
to get
agree.
going.
If
I
we stay
agree.
longer, we'll have to kill Bone Grey.
Which I'm not opposed to, but I think it might complicate things because I have this sneaking suspicion
Are
that
we
those other
going?
two are going to get here earlier than 2 weeks, and I'd like to be gone.
Let's
by
go.
Here
Let's
we
learn
go
not to rush out too
again.
far ahead, at least. Come on!
Let's go.
Get the hell out of here.
All right.
It's gonna be worse though. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it, but wherever we're going, there's gonna be more of these guys. Like
So-
we're going
Good.
to a
Let's do it.
portal
who is
You
the
know what?
first?
where there's gonna be who's gonna be waiting on the other side, guys.
Do we
You know,
care if we
this is
kill?
why you are the voice of wisdom, and I agree with you. I just think we still need to do it anyway. But good thinking. That's exactly the kind of thinking we need. When we come through here, we got to be ready for some crazy shit. All right.
Speaking of, who is the first person down the stairs?
Anrin.
Looks
Sorry.
like Anrin.
Okay.
It is Anrin. It would be Anrin no matter what, anyway.
Yep.
Anrin, as you round the corner, you can see two bullywogs looking curiously at the stairs. They don't seem to have looked up at the sound of your approach yet. They're looking at what is pretty obviously a lizard folk footprint in the mud. And you sort of like turn the corner. You have a moment to decide, whoop, step back, or whoop, go forward. What are you doing as you round that corner?
Going to whoop, step back,
Okay.
and go, what are you doing here?
And the bullywog looks up at you. Intruders!
Mean intruders. You know who we are.
And they brandish their spears at you.
Folks, my diplomacy is really bad.
Roll and intimidate then.
Yes. It's also bad, but that's okay.
I'm coming up behind you, so I will assist and intimidate.
Okay. See? Bad.
Okay, so you just you look
You have a reroll.
guilty, like just guilty.
I want to see Joe come up behind me.
And we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative. Wait, don't do it yet. Okay, go ahead and click and roll initiative.
I think that's the best initiative I've gotten so far.
Ooh. Now, you can see these two bullywogs are mid-puff, like they are getting ready to croak like there's nobody's business. They got the big bulge going on. Their tongues are starting to wrap around so they can get the good flutter going. The alarm is about to be raised. Rob Oakes, what are you doing?
A little bit of sand and I just pour it on the ground and I cast sleep.
Ooh. All right. Let's go ahead and see that sleep roll. And can you check your mic? You all of a sudden got faint on me.
I moved the mic.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
Casting it at second level.
That's a pretty good sleep. That is a total of 31 points of sleepiness. And you just see the two bullywogs just slowly topple over. Those croaks now coming out as just comically big Z's. You've put both of the bullywogs to sleep. Now what?
All right, everybody, let's just move forward. Go around.
Okay.
All
But
right.
walk like you're meant to be here. Don't be all stealthy and shit. We're supposed to go.
I did that. It didn't work very well.
All
All
right.
right. I'll just go ahead.
Yes, you should go first.
In and out of turn order that quick. Bullywogs left sleeping.
All right. I'm taking the lead and walking like I belong.
Okay. Getting that strut on. Show you round that small puddle of water. Now that you're on the north side and you were told about the mist, you can see that little creep, inch and a half of mist making its way over towards those descending stairs.
And I do have dark vision if that changes anything.
Sure. You're still 60 feet, right?
Yep.
Yep. You see basically around to the same spot. So the light kind of stops in and around that area.
Okay. Should I keep moving the token?
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. Well, I'm just.
light. Casey.
Say it again.
When do Yaz and I lose the light again?
So the hallways have dim illumination throughout until you reach this area up here. Far to the north and west. Am I on the wrong layer?
No. Okay. So
Nope, we
I've
see
got
it.
where I'm at. I've got a what?
You've got light.
Chiquito, where are you?
I'm just imagining. Playing Clue right now. We're moving step by step till we get to the bedroom.
No problem. You make your way all the way up to that crane area where the cliff's ledge is. And Paul, you're still a little faint for me somehow.
Let me push it again.
There you go.
I'm back again.
You're back now. You're good now.
Okay.
It was just a little bit off somehow. All right.
Hey.
So you reach the area. There is a 15-foot descent. There is a ladder. There is a crane. You can see, show with your dark vision, that little mist fall going over the edge and pooling on the ground down below. Your better vision letting you see that there's probably a good 3 foot of mist on the ground. You can see the ground, but there's mist down there deep. Low-lying fog bank.
All right. Well, I'm going
Okay.
because we have to look like we own the place.
Casey, I just want you to know I kicked up my volume again on
Okay.
my side. So
Sounds good.
So I'm just going to climb down.
You got it.
I follow.
And as you start to descend this wooden ladder into the mist, could I have a stealth check from each member of the party? We're going to do the average of the rolls.
Now, I'm not stealthing. I'm walking like I belong here.
Okay. So basically, you hit the ladder, you hear creak, 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 creak. And
so yeah, I my impression, and correct me if I was wrong, our goal here is to walk like we own the place, not hide. correct?
That's what we had decided on.
Okay.
We
That
may
is
what
want
we
to change
decided.
that. We may want to change that given the noise and the fact that we're not seeing anybody else around here.
Well, you start to hear something now. So away to the west, as you hit that ladder and all that creaking noise begins, and that little bump of the wood against the stone, you hear a curious ribbit from the west and the south. As you move in that direction, you can see through the puddling mist there is a passage to the north and west, a passage to the south and west, and a passage to the south and slightly east. The curious croaking came from the south and west.
Is there anything here after the crane that indicates cargo may have been taken this way?
How about a quick survival check? So the frog prints around here are a little less enthusiastic. It seems there's less jumping going on in this area, and you can see that cargo and crates and some fairly strenuous footwork led off to the northwest passage.
Okay. Then I'm gonna walk like I own the place in that direction.
Okay. And moving like they own the place towards you, you can hear the floppy footfalls of a fairly large number of bullywugs. You would guess somewhere in the neighborhood of 10-ish.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go. So, as the bullywugs emerge from the darkness, they are carrying with them several lanterns and lights, casting light about the area, shining the little bullseyes in your direction, illuminating you as you approach. Boop, boop. Open up. You see 10 or so bullywugs, and towards the back of the pack of them, rising above it and coming dangerously close to getting knocked off as he leaps about by the ceiling, Farblex and his special hat. Away to the south, you can see the passage opens up, and there's some larger body of water down there. And to the north and west, the cave continues on. You're walking like you own the place. They're walking like they want to know who thinks they own the place. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna continue on in the direction the cargo.
Got it. You hear called out from down that hallway. Hold!
I'm going to turn and glare at them and say, it would be unwise to impede our progress.
This area is forbidden. Forbidden for you. Go back.
By whom? Forbidden by whom?
By Resmir, the worm speaker.
And who is in command of this castle right now?
Resmir, the worm speaker.
Is she here?
No.
And who is in command of this castle right now?
Resmir does not lose command just because he is not here.
Oh, I will go discuss this with Borngray when I have finished then. Do you wish to take it up with him?
How about that intimidation?
Sure.
Solid.
Solid. Yeah. So, Farblex, give this some thought. Looks at his. Whoop. Paul, no!
Oh.
We'll give him the 5-second count. Come on, Paul, you can do it.
He
Woo!
We made it. Rob Oaks is still alive. Woo!
I saw he was up in the Call of
That
Cthulhu
was
chat.
so
I accidentally,
scary.
I was scrolling up and I clicked on the Call of Cthulhu. It's so weird.
So
Yeah, I want to hang out there. I want to play Call of Cthulhu right now. I'll see you guys later.
hit
Screw
your
you guys, I'm out.
hit your video button when you get a chance. But other than that, Farblex looks over the party, eyeing you up, remembering the smackdown he received earlier. He says, "We will bring this up with Borngray. You may do as you wish, but know you will answer to Edmure." And with that, he lets out a series of croaks. And could I get from the party, whoever wishes to make the wager as to what it is, a insight check?
The insight check.
The insight check.
It's
Oh,
supposed to be a
no!
skill. I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Do it.
But Chiquito is here. Chiquito is the king of insight.
Chiquito is the king of insight.
See,
It's okay. You had a good roll.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, Amnon, you hear the noise, and you're familiar with the woodland creatures and that sort of thing. You realize those croaks are certainly some form of an alarm.
I
So
don't.
you know he's alerting people to something.
He's alerting people to something. I don't know if he's letting them know we're coming, or if he's alerting something else that we're coming.
One way to find out.
Counting on
cast
my
our
fingers how
die.
many times we followed show into something like this, but not unhappily.
So
we
the
cast our die. We got to roll. We got to run with it.
Yeah, I'm
The-
going.
the
There you go.
bullywogs basically pile up in that hallway there, watching you, clambering atop one another, making a big bullywog plug of that hallway. You would actually need to dig through them to get past. But
the
passage to the north and
signs
west.
I've seen suggest that northwest is where I want to go.
Correct.
So that's where I'm going.
You
And
got it.
and like not even giving them another look at this point.
So you continue to the north and west, encountering a fairly large cavern. Up weep. The mist continues to fill the floor, a foot, maybe 2, 3 in places high. The ground is uneven, covered in muddy tracks, a few scrapes here and there. Could I have a investigation check, please? Show you are certain that the cargo was brought into this room, but then it's just not here.
Okay, someone who knows about the magic. Take a look around. They said there's a portal. I don't know what to look for.
Can see a portal.
I
They're
don't
not
know.
subtle.
Oh yeah, I can't see. But my investigation is not good either.
Neither is
I
mine.
mean, I
I'm
could
gonna-
take a look, I guess. Maybe
I'm gonna cast light on.
that helps a lot more.
Yeah, I'll cast light on my bow.
Sure. You light up the area. That certainly helps quite a bit. And what is everyone's passive perceptions, real quick?
Well,
13.
14.
18.
12.
Okay.
Where is it?
Nice, Chiquito.
So Chiquito is the one
Okay.
to identify this particular spot, and it's actually by a oddity on the floor. Most of the places that sticky mud has kind of flowed and melted away, but in one particular spot, about a good 10 feet around, the mud is lower, as if the mud had left. It's seeped back down, but there's a spot almost dead center where there's just no mud. And a little bit of clearing, you reveal the inscribed circle of what's almost certainly a teleportation circle or portal of some point.
Found it. Very good.
Yeah.
I'll come up and look too. It is in fact a device for moving, but it doesn't seem to be active.
It does not seem to be active, and you know that these, especially one that seems to be as old as this castle is, are very rare. The spell plague caused most of these to destruct. So this is an oddity. Um, and it is built into the stonework down here and looks to have aged far longer than it has been since the spell plague ruined the vast majority of the teleportation circles.
However, it is down here. It's possible it could have been protected down here.
Correct. Maybe that blue
And I
fire
mean,
had nothing to burn.
and a pollywog or bullywog or whatever I keep on saying, a bullywog is the one that could obviously activate this because Mr. Gray boy never wants to come down here anyway. But they keep on bringing it down here. So it's one of those ribbity boys down there that we have to talk to get this thing going.
Farblex.
There's maybe a key.
There,
I mean,
there may be.
I'm just saying, I don't think any of these guys are sharp enough to work something like this. There might be a key.
Maybe we intimidate the hell out of them to give us the key,
Or we look around.
or we look around a
I'll
bit
take-
more.
I'll take a
Let's look around.
JT.
Yep.
Oh,
So you take a look around. You
have
can't
a
see
guidance?
any places where, um, no hole for a
fine.
staff, no place for a key, no spots for an orb. But that's about all you get. So you're almost nonplussed.
I see Chiquito's also looking around, and I came up nothing, so I'm like, Chiquito, Chiquito. Daylight come and we want to find a portal.
That wasn't what I expected.
And you can add a D8.
What am I able? Is it Arcana
so,
that I should do? Or?
Arcana or Investigation, I think would be the two that are valid here.
All right, I'll do Arcana.
Mhm.
I think that's what we'll do. And I'm gonna go okay, boop, and I'm gonna boop myself too.
Okay.
All right, Arcana.
There's
Get a D8 and a D4.
All right, D8 and D4.
Man, if only somebody had assisted him.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, that's not too bad.
22.
That's
You got there anyway.
That's a 20 the hard way. So you take a look at this circle and you clear it out. And you can see the how deeply it was etched in the stone, and how very very specific the symbols are around the outside. This is a dedicated teleportation circle. It really can't be used to go anywhere except for one place, which is kind of good news because it's usually fairly simple to operate. You suspect maybe either a tuning to it or perhaps some sort of phrase. You kind of agree with Rob. There's not really a place for any sort of device to activate it. It's probably a passphrase.
Can I look at it and cast ritually? I would like to take the next cat to do comprehend language while looking at it.
Sure. You can do that. That'll take you 10 minutes.
I believe that's what it says.
All right. And as those 10 minutes tick by, everybody please make sure they thank Shady for the rerolls that have been bought for the players. So
yes, thank you, Shady.
Add your,
And happy birthday.
add your ticker there. And as that starts to happen, Rob, you start to understand some of the wording and the information in the glyph. It is someone's own language, so it's not really words so much as it is a reference to a location, and it says have fun at the ski lodge.
Oh.
And the translation's probably a little off. It might be for a good time go skiing. It could be something along the lines of that. But you're like, all right, it's a shortcut to someone's winter home.
Would anybody know where somebody would go skiing?
Mountains with snow. I feel like everybody would know that. I mean, there
That-
is water.
that part I know,
Water
but-
skiing's a little,
Well,
Yeah.
Dragonspire
That
doesn't have
depends.
snow.
What is skiing?
But there's a lot of mountains, right? Like
There's
So-
only
there's the Sword Mountains, I know that, but
Oh, there's lots of mountains.
yeah. This was
What
not
mountain?
as helpful as I was hoping, y'all. I mean, there's just so many mountains or places somebody could go snow skiing, as opposed to water skiing, which is this concept I've been developing. But it didn't, you know.
Well, we're committed at this point. We either need to figure this out or we need to beat it out of someone.
Well,
So
if it-
what? Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we have enough people here who should be able to think of all of the snowy mountain ranges that are possible that we know that they're going to or be likely to go. They're not going to be south. Why come all the way up here?
It's a good question.
So
And around
who
about
knows
this time, from away to the east, you hear, some sleepy sounding croaks of alarm.
Been an hour?
Wait,
Till
an
then.
hour? How long does your sleep last? I was thinking a minute, maybe 10.
Oh. Oh no, it's a minute.
Okay.
Huh.
I was giving you a little extra bonus because you left them in their sleepy preference of mud, but eventually
Yeah.
they will wake up.
Yeah, no, it's a minute. I'm sorry.
Okay. So you hear that croak of alarm off to the east, and then you start to hear a chorus of croaks responding, building. It's not quite the same tone as you heard Farblex putting, those down here on alert. This one's much more urgent.
All right, figure it out. I'll hold the door.
All right, I'm gonna try to figure this out. I
The
try
whole
to figure
door?
it out.
I stand with show. Look it down.
All right, then I guess that's me and Chiquito on the symbol.
I'll turn to Yaz and whisper.
I will help
If you
as
want
well.
to stand a little behind, it's okay. I
Oh,
understand.
I thought you would be.
Oh,
I will
I'm
definitely be guarding, but thinking at the same time.
Okay.
not doing it because you're right, but you're right.
I'm gonna boop whoever goes first. I'm gonna boop them.
So I will let the party go ahead and arrange themselves as they would choose to. We're going to go ahead and bring some forces to bear.
Where's the symbol, Casey? Are we standing? Are Chiquito and I around it right
Yep,
now?
center of the room. You got it.
Okay. All right.
And
Stay behind my shield.
Stand right here.
all these maps are so big.
Well, actually, not there because then Eldritch Blast may go right through me.
I don't
Uh,
know.
I don't know.
Are we initiativing?
We will be initiativing in just a moment. You may go ahead and click and bring it on there.
Oh no!
It's been
I
so
am
long.
thinking of the world.
You could slap him again, right? That
Why
works.
did I not go in? I just rolled a 1915. It didn't go in. I don't know why.
Did you not have your token clicked?
Well, I was in my sheet, so I assumed it was.
No, you still always got to click the token.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
A force of about 5 bullywogs are moving towards you. They got a bad attitude. They've got spears. And they've got a weird pouch in their hands.
Okay.
We're going to put them right over here as they drop down off the set. Go ahead and put this in order here. And Chiquito, with the 23, what you doing?
Trying to figure out this damn portal so we can get out of here.
All right, go ahead and give me another Arcana check, please.
You got it. I'm gonna.
Well, I guess I'm not.
Okay, here we go.
First, I gotta get Chiquito back. There he is.
So you continue moving the mud around, sweeping things away, looking for clues. Nothing in here that seems to be giving you a hint. You don't see any riddles. You don't see any questions. The translation that they gave you about what it said on there is just more of a, identifier than any sort of insight. You don't think there is a clue down here. Wherever that password is, you doubt it's in this room.
Nope, not here. Don't think it's here.
Yes.
We're gonna have to be a bit more forceful.
As Chiquito provides that insight, what are you doing?
Can you repeat the insight? Because I think
The password's not here. We're gonna have to be a little bit more forceful to find out.
got you. So keep one of them alive. Makes sense. I'm going to prepare a what's it called? Eldritch Blast for for whoever for the first hostile looking bullywug, because I don't know. I think, can I reach?
Yeah,
I think I might hit a wall.
I think if you just take a step to the north, you'd be okay to do it. So
Oh, okay.
if you take a step, you got a shot at this fella.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. So then I'm just gonna do like a cowboy pew pew and shoot one off. And
You got it.
Button. I gotta remember I'm using Firefox now, not Chrome.
Yeah. Just like that kid in that video wearing the cowboy outfit. 19 will hit. 9 is damage. Doesn't take the Bollywog out though.
Okay.
Oh wait. Do you have charisma bonus?
I do. I was gonna, or at least I'm pretty sure I still do.
Do you still have your?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like it got rid of it when I leveled up. So just add another 4 points.
Oh, another 4 points. That bullywog did not survive. He drops down, his spear and a little clay pot clattering to the ground beside him. Yaz, anything else you're doing?
No.
All right. That brings up one of the bullywogs. They look a little concerned about how lethal your force just was, and begin moving forward at top speed of 20 feet. They hop along to this area. They look way downfield at you, and they throw. It's going to say spear, but it's not really a spear. It's a clay pot. At disadvantage, it just clunks on the floor directly in front of him, just like out of his hand, fell to the floor and shattered. A little dust puff flies up from the clay pot that it broke, and he looks disappointed in himself.
That's good. I am also disappointed in you.
Other bullywog decides to get a little closer, dashing at top speed of 40 feet. And Anrin, what are you doing?
No range weapon. So I'm going to hold my I'm going great sword out. I'm just going to hold it in my hands like this and just watch and see what happens. I'm not doing anything else at this point. There's no point to run forward.
Okay. Bullywugs. Rushing forward, closing in with their leaping and jumping and bouncing and such. This one continues to rush forward. He throws his clay pot deftly. Still a disadvantage at show.
Can I don't know if I'm in front of her enough. No, probably not.
Rob?
Listen,
Oh, yeah. Rob, what are you doing?
Bob is going to move his 30 feet. 30. I am going to. Actually, I'm going to dash. All right. And then I am going, as I was running past, bonus action, rising up from Baldergate streets. Did your time, took your chances. Went the distance, now you're back on your feet. Just a reptile and a will to survive. It's the eye of the lizard, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And I'll just keep singing as I go by, and then, yes,
Keep singing.
and we all will survive with the eye of the lizard. All right. This is costing money. Yeah, we're gonna totally pay on the royalties for that. Oh, totally. I can just see the band survival
Totally.
going, "Hey, fuck you guys! You owe us money." All right. Sylvester Stallone's gonna be writing tomorrow.
no,
Anyway,
you never did a song about lizard eyes.
lizard
Exactly.
eyes. No. But yes, you've got D8 of inspiration,
Nice.
and that's it for me.
Sounds good. Show.
Rob has moved up, so I'm moving up. I'm going to move up and attack with my hammer.
Okay.
First attack hits a 10.
10 will miss.
Second attack hits a 12.
At 12 will also miss.
Okay.
Show anything else for you?
I will rage.
Seems like a reasonable thing to do after that performance. With that, Bullywug will rush forward 20 feet. It will see that its friends have not done well throwing their little clay pot, so it will actually throw a spear this time. Show, not at disadvantage. You have a spear coming at you. Wait, hang on, it might be at disadvantage anyway. 12?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yep, still at disadvantage. Poor Bullywugs. Chiquito, as you come round to a turn once more, you can hear Farblex behind his wall of froggy bodies making noises. Horrible, horrible noises.
That's horrible. The hell are you
Just
doing?
terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Terrible noises. Terrible.
What the hell is that ribbon boy doing?
Perhaps at initiative turn 6 you will find out. Chiquito, what you doing?
Yep. Hopefully not. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna put my hands on the ground, go in a slight 2-second trance, open my eyes, and 2 creatures appear next to me.
Oh?
Kill, 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 kill.
When
Like
did you learn
conjure
how to do
animals.
that?
I was also sleeping when I learned to do this. I thought about it.
Kill, kill.
Kill, kill.
These are things that happen to people. So I believe you have which are they the Dinanakinensis?
Mm-hmm.
Dynamite.
Do you have those to drag over onto the board?
If I can, I will.
I believe
do
you
I just
can. Oh, there, I
how
see
do
one
I
at least.
Oh, I did it. Wow.
You
Is that
did
how
it.
roll 20 works?
Yeah.
That's how
In
roll
that
20 works.
case, booyah.
All right.
Pew,
And and for the sanity of the DM, we're just going to have them go on your turn. So what would you like your critters to do?
Here, boys.
Sick
pew,
balls.
pew. And
Chopper.
jab them. All right, they have a speed of 40, so.
What he said was, Chopper, sick 'em.
Sick 'em.
What I
I
heard.
guess they're going to move there,
Okay.
and if anything gets within range, they'll ready their actions to attack.
Sounds good. Yaz, what are you up to?
If it's okay, I'm going to move up as well.
Oh, sure.
Do it. I have to remind myself on Hex's
Okay.
reach. So I've already forgotten. I thought it was something like.
I think it's 60
Oh,
feet.
it's
but I'm
9.
not
Oh, it's 90
90?
feet.
That's even better.
Yeah, I thought I was getting it confused between the Hexblade's curse, which is 30 feet, whereas Hex is. So I was like, oh, I can't do it. Turns out I could have. So I'm gonna do a Hex on dish one, that one right there, and
This
then
one right here?
I'm going, yeah, that one,
Yeah.
and right after that
Mm-hmm.
that curse,
Mhm.
I'm gonna. Oh, it's at level 3 now. That's nice.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast.
No.
Surprise!
That's gonna hit. He's not dead yet.
Oh, wait, I could do
Well, you're Hexy.
Hex.
Now he's dead.
Alright.
Yaz,
Sorry, show.
anything else for you?
Bonus action to cast it. Nope, that's it for me.
Got it. That's gonna bring up Bullywog from the back, rushing forward. Gonna do the whole dash. Bullywog up front looks at Show. Show, who's just right there. Looks down at the powder on the ground, reaches down, puts his big froggy, floppy hand on the ground, swings upward, and tries to throw a bunch of powder in Show's face. It's gonna say bite, but it's really a powder
Did
attack.
one just move away from me?
One just
got
died.
killed.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
So in a way,
Acceptable.
yes.
So
And
yes,
then
in a way.
I-
But one is now reaching
Wait from
for you
all
with
of
a flat-palmed powder strike. 18?
Blood sport.
18 will do it.
Okay, it does no damage. But could I please have a Constitution saving throw? Your DC is a 12.
I'm gonna
Oh,
use a reroll because I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
5 of them.
Okay.
that'll do
Good
it.
call. Good call.
Okay. So
I've not spent any in like 3 sessions.
everyone sees Show just take a face full of frog floppy hand. Show's eyes go boop, super wide, and then Show just like squeezes with her brow and forces the eye with the pupils back down to normal size. Show, you feel unaffected, but you're thirsty. Anrin, what are you up to?
I am muttering under my breath because everybody moved out of really defensive positions and put themselves in the spot. But I am.
We were trapped.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Is that 30? Because if
Seems about right.
okay, and I am going to attack this one with the great sword.
Yep. You just take the floppy, powdery hand right off and part of the arm with it. That is no longer a bullywog. Anrin, anything else?
I'm really mad
getting
at the
good.
entire party, and I'm ignoring the rest of them because they're clearly dying like bullywogs, and I'm going to go ahead and say we should head down the stairs. At least some of us. That's it.
That brings up another bullywog. This one flopping forward. It looks at Anrin. It gulps. You can see the gulp. And then it tries to spear.
Spearing Anrin?
Spearing
I'm gonna
Anrin.
use my reaction and Sentinel hit him
Ah! Go ahead. 17 will hit.
for 11.
11 is enough. It does not get to pull off the bite maneuver that it was about to follow up with, crunching down. Rob Oakes, it comes round to you.
In Draconic, I say, and Tiamat delights in the death of traitors.
Oof.
And then I will move forward to here. And then I will cast. Nah, I'm just gonna bow shoot one of them.
What is that?
That's
It's kind of cool.
That's a thing. It's not a thing yet, but go ahead and bow shoot. It's Tiamat delighting in the murder of her enemies.
Death of traitors.
The death of traitors.
Absolutely.
So that's to this guy here.
17 is a hit. 5 is damage. It's not quite deadly damage, but
Yeah, and then I'm going to turn around and make eye contact with, the Pope.
Shit mouth.
Yeah,
the Pope.
Pope shitmouth.
Just smack the Pope. Show.
First of his name.
First of his
Show, what are
Yep.
you up to?
I'm doing a Han Solo run.
Oh,
I'm running right into here.
oh man, I was hoping to keep them alive.
Ooh. You run right into there. There's a ton of bullywogs waiting for you. As you
Well-
run up, you've got spears coming at you. A pair of spears. 1, 2. Pair of
Okay.
22s for 8 each. 16 points of piercing damage coming down. You've got ranged spears from the 2 ranks behind. 3 ranks behind, excuse me. So 6 ranged spears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1 crit hits.
1 crit hits. So
And
9,
is there help?
8 plus 8 plus 9. And then cut that in half. And show you are now closed with the bullywogs.
All right. Then I am going to attack the furthest north one there.
You got it.
And I'm going reckless.
Sounds good. 21's going to hit. 14 points of damage is enough.
I'm just
Drapo.
screaming my fury at them.
They are.
And I've got more movement. I'm going to move over.
Okay. They are screaming in return.
And then with my bonus action, activate the Storm's Aura on the one next to me, directly to the south.
You got it. That is a dexterity attack. Dexterity save.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
no.
right.
3
Get it
points of
from there.
lightning damage.
You know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
It takes
explodes.
lightning damage?
Same
Hell
thing that
yeah.
happens to everything else.
Very good to
Show. Anything else there? That was a lot.
No, I'm good. That
Okay.
was great.
On that horrible chanting comes to an end. And boy, they just were not counting on you making that bum rush.
Oh well, that's a lot of light.
Okay. The
Right on,
lit
Rob.
area is actually a countless number of thorny protrusions coming up from the muck and the dirt. One might call it spiky growth.
Yeah.
If you
Hmm.
move across this spiky growth, it's probably going to hurt.
Got it.
I'll just look at Farblex and say, that is not going to save you from me.
It's
Save
probably
me-
not.
Save him from me either.
The Bullywogs. Oh, excuse me. Farblex's goons actually get to go as well. That was because that was reaction when you got there, so now it's actually their turn. You've got a couple more spears coming at you now with advantage. Two hand-to-hand, two-handed stabs. 1, 2,
One hit.
1 hit. A pair of bites from those two as well because they can reach you. 1, 2, 16 and a
Nope.
6 both miss. We're going to have 5 ranged spears coming at you with advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I saw 2 hits go past.
Yep.
And that is it for the Bullywog defenders of Farblex. Bully,
What was the damage on the two? A 5 and a 4. Okay.
you got it. And so up north, we got Bullywogs moving to the edge of the stony thorns. They do not step inside, but what they do, this one is not yet thrown, is special pot. Rob, you got a special pot coming at you. It says spear, but it's not really that. A 6 is going to miss, though. Chiquito, what are you doing?
Move up.
Say, okay. Sacramento, attack!
Is it okay if I attack these guys before I do something?
Uh,
Or do they move after me?
You can move before they are moving on your turn, so you can do it before or afterwards.
All right.
Sacramento, go!
Sacramento's gonna go after this one.
Okay, so Sacramento, as soon as Sacramento starts moving across the ground, the first 5 foot, so the first step in there, it takes 3 points of damage. Does it continue moving?
Yes.
The next 5 feet it steps. It takes 6 points of damage.
Oh.
Does it keep moving?
Oh. 6
Hate
points,
this
huh?
spell so
Jump!
much.
Yeah. Well, is that an action? That's an action, right? To jump.
No,
It's
it's
part of your
Um,
movement. It's part of a move action.
Sacramento jump.
So unfortunately, the jump effect does not work because you either got to kick off real hard or land real hard, so you're still taking the same damage.
All right.
How much
so
movement does
3,
that critter
6,
have, by the way?
40.
40. Okay. It is difficult terrain, so it is taking this in half as
So-
well.
So 5. So 4 places, right?
Yep.
So he will. If I get him, he'll get there.
Okay, so
And
2
then-
more sets of damage, another 6, and another 5
Yeah.
for a total of 20 points of damage to your critter.
Sacramento's not looking too good.
I heard Sacramento's lovely this time of year.
That's not bad. Um.
Bite growth is grim.
Okay. And he is going to attack anyway.
Okay, go for it.
He's going to start with his claw
Mhm.
attack. Claw.
11's going to miss.
Claw.
8's going to miss.
Hmm.
Let me down. Bite.
Oh my god.
Yeah, also not good.
Sacramento is not doing good this time of year. After all.
Shit. I
Um.
am a stupid 5th level character because I only took 1 attack last turn.
Me too.
Oh.
Wait,
I wasn't gonna make that
how'd you
mistake
only
this
take
time.
1 attack? I feel like... All right, God.
I had more than that taken at me.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, the Han Solo run. You didn't have to kill something first. Ah. Sorry, I didn't think about it. But Chiquito?
No, it's not your job to think about what I can do. Just remember, dumbass, you have 2 attacks now. I never play martial characters. I don't know what I'm doing.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
It's muddy, right?
It is muddy and full of stone spikes.
All right. Am I able to at least with can I use shape water to kind of make an ice path for at least 5 feet,
Like freeze all the mist.
or the mud, like kind of take the water out of the mud?
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna say you start to think about it and you realize that the magics will fight one another, so anything you create in this area will start to spike as well. The ice you tried to make would be jagged. The mud you tried to shape would also spike up. You can't defeat the magic, it would just shift it around a bit.
Okay. In that case, Chiquito should have done this earlier, but he's gonna dispel magic.
Ooh!
Still magic.
Sorry, I
Oh,
forgot I
fuck.
had it. I scrolled down a little bit further and I figured it out. Sorry about that. It's been a week since I, dispel magic.
Dispel magic, and dispel magic is a second level spell, correct?
Third.
Third?
It is a 3rd level, yeah.
Third level spell. You know what? That's good enough. With that, the spike growth vanishes.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
Chiquito a little slow. Maybe Sacramento was just, sprinting ahead when it should have waited a moment. Anything else you'd like to do there?
Tanoma, go!
Sonoma.
Gonna get here and he's gonna try to attack this one too.
All right. Come on,
All right,
Bullywog.
Tanoma.
Got so much to live for. Dodge, man. Dodge. Oh, that's not a dodge.
Okay, can I have a D12 strength check or be knocked prone?
Sure can. Passes that one. Go ahead and click on the claw to give me some damage, though.
Okay, you got it.
This Bullywog is in it to win it. Please stay alive. Yep, come on. Just gotta make it past one more. 13 misses. Bullywog survives 2 dinosaur attacks.
And
Chiquito.
that will be the end.
All right.
of my turn.
What are we doing?
All right, feeling a whole lot better now that there's no spiky spooks.
Mhm.
So there and there and there. Okay, I'm gonna dash because I just need to get over here.
Okay.
And I think I killed the so I can move my hex. So I'm going to move my hex to Farblex.
Ooh. Threading the
Yes.
needle.
Oh yes.
Farblex is the hex.
Pew.
And then what?
That's it. I dashed and
Okay.
scooted it, and that's it.
That's going to bring up our Bullywugs up top here. This one going to try and take out this evil bird. Spear, two-handed stab. What's the dinosaur's armor class?
13.
13. That's not going to hit. It's going to try and chew on a dinosaur. Also not going to work. Bullywog, you failing me. Anrin, what you doing?
Thinking that the dinosaurs have this well in hand. And I'm going to attack this bullywog in front of me.
Yep.
And now I have to get back up on my sheet where I can attack anything. And
A 22 is going to work. 8 points of damage is the perfect number. That Bullywog falls after having been shocked by Show. Anrin, what next?
That was 11.
that was 11.
Even more.
That's okay.
It's more dead.
Even more
Um,
dead.
So I
Extra
can
dead.
take a step forward and take my second attack.
Sounds good.
Okay, since I didn't take it the last time. Do I get a third
We're
one? No.
just gonna meat grinder this hallway.
Well, Maybe. 14 hit?
14 does not hit.
How so? That's it.
Rob Oakes?
In common, Rob will say, "The Inquisitors of Tiamat demand knowledge from Farblacks. Leave him alive." And then I will shoot this guy again with a bow, if I can.
Okay. 22 is going to hit. That will end the bullywog.
And I will use my movement to get over here.
Show? How about it?
I'm reckless.
Okay.
Attacking the one that's nearest to me
You got it. 26 is a solid hit.
for 14
14's enough. We're down one more bullywog.
and step into that space and clobber the one to my west.
You got it? Let's see it.
For 20
20.
because I was reckless.
Yep.
For 12.
12. I think does it. Yep. Gone.
And then storm aura on the one to my south.
Making him dance.
For 6 lightning damage.
6 lightning damage. At this, Farblex can be seen visibly shaken. Hold! Wait. Do not kill my faithful worshippers. Do you give any indication that you might spare some of them?
Do any of us get to react, or is that show?
I am pointing my warhammer at Farblex, and then I turn and look at Rob, who just said what he said.
And Rob, are you? They will all die, only keep Farblex alive, or are you?
So I'm looking to Rob for a sign.
That depends on you, Farblex, and that's all I say.
Okay.
That's fair.
Give me.
Got lightning crackling off of my hammer.
Yeah, let's call that one a persuasion.
Oh, or me.
Yes, please.
I think that's you, Rob.
Oh, yep,
Oh,
Rob.
okay.
Yeah, sorry, Rob.
Miss you, Rob.
Mr. Oakes. Okay,
I
nice.
persuaded the last 4.
so
It's the great persuader.
Farblex lets out a series of croaking sounds. And Yaz, Chiquito, Rob, from the area to the south, you hear an answering call. You can see, Yaz at least, that a horde of frogs is moving in.
Ooh.
Just a veritable pile of them coming up from the south. But at the sound from Farblex, they all sort of fall over each other and hold there. Chiquito, your turn comes around. The bullywogs have all sort of backed off for the moment. What are you and your dinosaurs doing? Uh-oh.
Mazda, Honda. Do not attack. Tiamat.
Put on the brakes.
Okay.
Tiamat needs information.
And he's gonna just go ahead and have them move here. And they
Yaz?
will attack if we go back into initiative. And Chiquito will move here and ready in action as well.
Sure. Yaz, how about you?
Yes. Yaz is going to move. Kind of such a bad idea. He's going to move right up here.
That's a lot of frogs. I mean,
I know it's a lot of frogs.
that is at least 2 biblical plagues worth of frogs right there.
I know, and like, oh no, if I hold the spell and they don't attack, then I lose the spell. Dang, that's right. I forgot about that detail.
If you fireball them right now, it'd be amazing.
I know. I wanted to hold an Arms of Hadar.
You know, if we have a biblical plague in Judaism, we have to drop a bit of wine out for the joy. There we go.
I feel like remembering that, I'm like, oh shoot, like it wouldn't make sense to do that. He would probably just
Goodbye.
kind of stay where he is. Yeah, he'd stay where he is
Hey,
and
welcome back.
just ready. He'd ready an Eldritch Blast at
All right.
at a whatever the first hostile thing he sees.
Gotcha. Anrin, it is super tense, but all the fighting sort of stopped. What are you doing?
I've been hearing all of this in the byplay, and everybody's stopping, and so I'm just gonna grit my teeth and stop.
Like there's that spot where your weapon would fit right between their eyes, right there. I mean,
Yes, there is.
it's like pulsing, like hit me. But
As I've said before, I'm a barbarian, but I'm not stupid.
Rob, it's come back round to you.
Farblax, Tiamat demands the key. Give us the key so that we may go where we need to go.
Farblex eyes you. You will leave?
We will leave.
This
because
is acceptable.
Tiamat has commanded it.
As Her Majesty declared, members. And with some noise, he starts making his way towards you. Are you letting him pass?
Yes.
I am
Sentinel.
eyeballing you. I'm eyeballing you.
He's still hexed.
Yeah, he is still hexed.
He makes his way around.
I could Sentinel strike and drop his speed to 0.
And comes
I'm
to
watching
stand
him.
before the gateway.
Are we able to move? Are we
As
still in the
my
game?
Yep,
my
out of
rage
order.
is
That's right.
ending, as we're out of
Okay.
combat, I'm going to call one last lightning strike just right in front of those bullywogs.
Got it. Now, as all this is going on, as things have calmed down a bit down here, you can start hearing some disturbances echoing down from above. You can hear a deep drum being played, an alert being given. You suspect that the trouble was not isolated just to the bullywogs, but you have Farblex's attention at the moment, and he stands before the teleportation circle. He looks at you, he looks at the circle, he gets down, spreads himself out, puts his head down, starts swaying back and forth, that pike head moving. And in somewhere amongst all that noise, he utters a word. And as he does so, the gateway illuminates and opens up.
I jump in.
All right.
I attack them.
Oh, do you?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. So Rob has leapt into the light. Is anyone
I'm
else
going to.
following?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh God, yes, me too.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You step into the light. You feel that odd sensation of being in 2 places at once and then figuring out which one you like better. Fortunately, it is the one with your bodies. as the world revolves around you, you go from a damp, cool to a very dry, very cold, and very crispy area. You appear in the mountain lodge and leave behind quite a bit of a mess. But that's an issue for another few moments.
The bullywogs to resolve.
There are some bullywogs to handle. Now, the teleportation circle that you have just traveled through is a permanent teleportation circle, which means that should they wish, they could potentially follow you. Is there any plans that you have to disable this or handle that in any way that I should be aware of?
We'd have
What-
to do it from the other side, right?
Dispel magic.
Can you dispel
No.
this side? Is that a
That's
Can't
thing?
you just
so
destroy
high
it?
level, isn't it?
So you
I've
could
already
dispel
used
magic it. If successful, it would disable it for a time. Destroying it is unlikely. This is a fairly permanent teleportation circle, and it survived the spell plague. It can probably handle anything you could think to do to it in the near future.
I mean, but we can't disable it from the side we left because we're not there anymore. We can
You're
only,
not there
But-
anymore.
like. So do we
But
have
it-
enough
but it's-
time as we appear? Like, are we surrounded by people? Are we in an empty room?
Sure.
Or...
So you are. So dark pine woods are all around the slopes of a mountain valley. The air is cold and fresh. Two ancient stones stand to either side of you, and no more than a bow shot ahead along a path is a large house with a stone on the ground floor, timbers above. Within sight are more standing stones. Pine trees shift and sway in a gusting, fitful wind. A squirrel chitters and then falls silent. The squirrel is the only thing living in your immediate area.
All right, let's see if we can fuck up the circle a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Or
So-
even putting a big stone on top of this.
Or filling in one of the things temporarily with some, I don't know. Dispel magic's probably the best bet, but I don't. Chiquito, that's a high level spell.
So dispel magic
Yeah.
will be your first shot.
Mm-hmm.
We can assist that with some other things. Would you like to go ahead and attempt your dispel magic?
I would if I had any more slots available to do
Okay. So, dispel magic is not currently an option. How about an Arcana check? We'll say the
Alright.
team is working together, so whoever rolls it will have advantage.
I'm just standing at the edge of it with my hammer cocked like a baseball bat. If anything comes through,
Are you better than me at this, Chiquito?
I'm gonna assume I am. I'm gonna
I'll
flick my
I
my
will assume.
suction nose, boing, 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 and I'm gonna.
And you have advantage. Don't forget.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
The nose on, right?
Nice.
Oh,
Come on,
that's
I might
pretty
have a little bit
good.
More to it anyway. Why not? Might as well just. Oh, there we go.
get to a 25. Take it.
There we go.
So, while hammering at the stone circle itself isn't going to help you very much, you do, and I think I heard it, have the opportunity to topple one of the massive standing stones across the teleportation circle. That will prevent it from activating or give anybody who comes through a really bad day as they phase in with a big stone. So,
That was a good idea. Let's do the topple.
let's do the
I think-
topple. So what
I
I
think it might
need to
work.
see, is some athletics checks,
I
or
can do this.
I need to hear
I'll do
some
it.
things that might help with your athletics checks. Just topple massive standing stones.
I
Athletic
will
check,
do it. And I
Yeah,
will,
yeah,
rage,
hold
I
on.
will I will rage to get the advantage.
and you're gonna. Oh, and I'm gonna boop you.
I saw the
shoulder.
boop happening, so
Go
you
get 'em.
you like dove
Go
in
get
there like no. Let's see that
Right.
extra D4.
All right. So
All right. Yeah, we got Amron and Show going whole hog on these. Basically, the two standing stones, shoom, boom, lands come together. Have actually wedged themselves in real well. They are huge and massive. You don't know a lot about teleportation, but you do know there is a size limit, and you have well exceeded it by putting these stones in the way, and the way they landed is going to take some doing. Congratulations, you have traveled quite a ways and are now up in the mountains. Rob?
Yeah, Casey,
Yeah.
while they knocked those over, my eyes were on the house because I was like, God, I wish I had some kind of spell to make things quiet when we did this. Do I notice anything as those stones come down?
Sure, how about a
Any
perception check there?
Okay. Ugh, so much dust. I'm gonna re-roll. I've got re-rolls. I'm re-rolling.
Sure do.
All right.
That's much
There
better.
you go.
That is
Very
much
good.
better. So the building is a lodge. It is a hunting lodge or a skiing lodge. It's got a wooden plaster upper floor over a field stone lower floor. The windows are all shuttered and closed, so you don't see anyone peering out. You don't see anyone open the shutters against that. The roof itself has got a bit of moss on it. You do notice, however, that the front door is slightly open. It's not locked. It's not closed. Um, you're looking. You can't tell if anyone's looking back at you or if it was just open the whole time, though. You'd have to get a bit closer to figure that one out. You can hear, it must be around the far side, one of the windows, the shutter is banging. So one is not secured and is banging in the wind, but you don't see it moving, so that must be around the far side of the building. You do also hear, as that big stone comes clonking down, a growl and a hissing sound, sibilant, coming from a smaller building a little bit further away. You recognize it as the sound that those drakes made, the little lizard-like creatures from back in the hatchery. So it seems as though there's a few of those about.
Comforted by that. I was a little nervous about all this treasure's going somewhere and there's nothing here. Not good. Okay. I will acknowledge my party members and draw their attention to the hissing sound.
Sure. And as you draw the attention to the hissing sound, a little ways back in the trees, not from the lodge, you can hear something on approach. It is big. It is causing tree branches to break. It's probably in the 9-foot tall range. You pick up a few more sounds as they are crunching through the snow. It's not one creature, it's at least two. Their gait is unpleasantly long. The time between footsteps is longer than you want it to be. It's just a gangly, tall monster. As it starts to break through the pine trees, you can see the snow falling off there, hands wrapping around, long green fingers, horrible nails meant to rend, rubbery flesh. You recognize troll skin. And then we'll get to find out whether or not the ambush drakes managed to sneak up at you as you were distracted. We'll pick that one up next week. So, next week,
Distracted by trolls.
as the trolls are approaching and the ambush drakes rush in, we'll find out if the party is surprised or if they get to start off on an even keel. Thanks, everybody. You did real well. Avoiding political entanglements, fighting your way in, getting the password out of Farblex, and making your way to follow the treasure to the luxury hotel in the mountains.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Only good
Yeah.
stories happen
Just
in
a
luxury
small,
hotels.
just a
Nice
small
place.
troll.
Small.
I'll
Yeah.
Just,
spend a
Infestation.
weekend here. Yeah.
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 Chicken
Yeah.
wire.
Family. We go maybe do some riding. It'd be
Do a
really
little
nice
riding?
up there.
I need a coat.
It is.
You're
It
not
is
the only one.
a little brisk. It is a little brisk.
All
So
work and no play, Chiquito.
that's true.
The shinning.
The shinning.
You want to get sued?
You want to get sued, boy?
Makes
Ah.
Homer's go something, something, something.
I warned you. Didn't I warn you? That colored chalk was forged by Lucifer himself.
Yes. So I might be reflavoring the Mountain House just a little bit over the course of the next week to more closely match up to certain references. But I
Tell you
think
what, Smithers, if they're all dead when we come back, I owe you a Coke. Sorry.
urge to kill fading. Fading. Rising. So thanks everybody for playing. We are on 20 Sats to Every Story. We are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. We are working our way through Tyranny of Dragons. Do please like, follow, and obey. Hop in the Discord. Have some fun. We got a ton of opportunities to play all sorts of role-playing games. We've also got a 7 Days to Die server going for some amount of more time where we've been killing zombies. Basically.
And more
having
players
fun.
would be great because we could use more zombies on horse.
Yeah, I don't think
definitely.
I don't think the
Really
40
good.
that we had was enough. We need just more
40?
zombies. Yeah.
It's
Well,
8 more
that's-
zombies
yeah.
for every player.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep. So we can get up to a total of, I think the server maxes out at 8 players at one time, so we
So
can get
64
64
zombies.
zombies.
That sounds like a really good idea and a lot of fun.
Now, by the way, I can actually increase the number of zombies per person. Like that's a setting I
Oh.
can change. So if you
Okay.
if you want like 30 for yourself, I could do
Okay.
that for you.
Well,
Dave
thank
would
you.
really like to try out new base designs, so
Yeah.
It's an easy way to reset them. Just send the zombies in and flatten it out. Scorched earth policy. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff going on, so do please hop in. We've got our GaryCon events getting scheduled up right now. We've got Bride of Son of something or other con that I lost track of that's out there as well. But all that's in there on the Discord, and love to see you there. So cool. Thanks everybody. Have a great night. I'm gonna find the button to shut us down. Any shout outs anybody else would like to do?
Shout out.
Shout
Thanks,
out.
Gleg.
Great.
let it all out. These are the things
Aw.
Sean.
I can do without.
Come on.
Come on.
Come
Talking to you.
on.
Come on.
Talking to you.
These are the things.
So again, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you again soon.